building's lifespan. With 24/7 emergency response and comprehensive service options, we are Greater New England's trusted commercial roofing provider. Visit EagleRivet.com for a complimentary inspection or call 860-953-1231. Protect your investment with Eagle Rivet.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by LendSeek.
Are you getting the most out of your credit card rewards? Because they may not be worth it.
You need rewards that are meaningful to you, in other words, and rewards that you're actually going to use.
Bankrate's Ted Rossman says the rewards aren't worth it if you're paying interest on a balance, paying high annual fees, or paying fees for benefits you don't use.
This is a good time to reassess where you stand with your credit cards.
I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
My home is my happy place, but between pets and kids, my happy place has scuffs and dings. CertaPro painters came in and saved the day. They can level up your curb appeal on the outside of your home and get those hard-to-reach places on the inside, too. My team also made sure my cats didn't get out, and they left my place spotless. Each CertaPro painter's business, independently owned and operated. Protect your home investment with quality painting from CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
I'm Carolyn from Coventry. Recently, my 82-year-old mother had a few falls and ended up in rehab. What we thought would be temporary care became permanent. When we applied for Medicaid, it was overwhelming. From our first meeting with Allaire Elder Law, they listened and guided us, providing clarity, kindness, and compassion. We were finally granted Medicaid, and a huge weight came off my shoulders. Thank you, Allaire Elder Law team.
AllaireElderLaw.com. I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, yeah! Scallywags, nutmeggers, you conversationalists, and of course I'm talking to you haters. It's Reese on the Radio live right here on WTIC News Talk 1080. I got to find this audio. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully it is here. And I may not have it. It is, I may have to go here. And I was thinking about it earlier today, and I said, should I do it? I don't think so. but I think it's appropriate. We got so much stuff packed for today's show. By the way, always go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com if you want to watch it live, or you can find us on YouTube at Reese on the Radio Show, or just go to X at Reese on the Radio so that you can watch it as it happens. Make sure I spelled this correctly. Yeah. There it is. It looks like that's right. And if I get this wrong, there's a guy. His name is Frankie. Is it? Let me make sure I got his name right. And is that it? Yeah, Frankie Cutlass. That's him. Yeah. I have played this before. Now I want to make sure that I got it right. So let me turn off this feed. I want to make sure I got the audio right here. Yes. There it is. It's right there. No, before I play it, let me break it down to you. So, as most of you know, I was a kid born and raised Hollis, Queens. Run DMC, LL Cool J. That was, I was born in 1969, and my formative years were in the 80s. As I was growing up, hip-hop had hit the scene at about my 10th birthday. So when I was a teenager, it was the music of my youth. And it wasn't the garbage that you hear today or you have heard in the last 20 years. We had sort of a wholesome kind of hip-hop in the early 80s. Party, have a good time. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. That was what we grew up in. Getting girls, partying, having a good time, talking about strife and struggle inside the ghetto. A la The Message, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five. Some of it was serious, but other stuff was, kind of fun. People who would do, it was interchangeable. And growing up in New York, in at least my 80s, it was a melting pot. It was a very strong melting pot in Queens. We had white kids that lived in my neighborhood, good friends with a lot of them. We had, of course, black kids in the neighborhood. Grew up with a lot of them. But I spent a lot of my time as a youth with two particular ethnic groups because my neighborhood, overwhelmingly, Dominican and Puerto Rican. Two of my best friends, Robert Ortiz and Oscar Palenco, were Puerto Rican and Dominican, respectively. We were the squareheads in junior high. We didn't really like school, but we were relatively smart. But we hung out with each other because none of the cool kids would ever bother with us. But these two guys were my best friends in junior high. We also had some Asian kids. We had Weimong Chong, who we called Raymond. He taught me my first Chinese curse word. We had Emil Singh, Indian kid. We all sat together in junior high. No matter what class we were in, we were sitting all next to each other. Billy Chang, another Chinese kid. But we all sat together. We were the United Nations of nerds. But because of that culture, I grew up sort of in my weird way, kind of getting a sort of feel for what other cultures were like without really knowing it. You could go to Emil's house and have a meal, didn't think about it. Go to Oscar's house, have a Dominican meal, didn't think about it. Go to Robert's house, have a meal, didn't think about it. You would just go in there to eat. It was free food. But when I was growing up, we learned a couple of things. That everybody in a particular culture had a shout out, if you will, musically. That's why I brought up the hip-hop thing. And in the African-American community, when I was growing up, there was an anthem. Let me give you an example. Roland, will you do me a favor? Can you get on the microphone? I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Roland has no idea what I'm talking about, so he's learning about this for the first time. Did I tell you what the monologue was going to be today? No. Right? Usually no.
Other stuff.
Yeah, we talked about other stuff. So I am going to say something to you, and then you tell me if you remember what the response is to that thing. So in the African-American community, Dougie Fresh had a record, and the song was, Ayo. How do you respond? Don't remember? You don't remember the Dougie Fresh record?
Oh, I wasn't. See, you got to understand too. I'm from the South.
Oh, so you weren't familiar with the?
I didn't get on to the Dougie Fresh and all that stuff until I came up here.
All right.
So I know he beatboxed and all of that. And Dougie Fresh, you're on. I know that.
Okay, so you don't know the call and response record. Ayo.
I know that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. So you know that response, right? Do you know the Haitian community? They have, when you say to a Haitian, ça passe, they say, daboule.
Daboule.
Yeah, you know that, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't know the response, but I've heard it before.
You've heard it before. So with Puerto Ricans, you would probably have to say that you remember this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that one.
Go to any Puerto Rican place in the world, they're going to know that. If you, I don't care who you are, what walk of life you are from, walk by Puerto Ricans, Puerto Rican Day Parade, and go, a Puerto Rico. Every Puerto Rican will go, oh.
Yeah.
They all know it, right? Okay, good. Just wanted to lay that out. So yesterday, when I was doing Spanish words, you know.
Oh, you do know that they're saying if
what?
If you're that mad at him performing, then you can't eat Spanish food anymore. You can't eat Mexican food anymore. And because if you hate him, then you hate his coach, and you hate his culture.
Yeah.
Then you gotta hate the food too.
Exactly, and I think they're right. You gotta hate the food. Anyway, yesterday I did Spanish words, which of course I played this beat.
Where you get the beat from?
Oh, I found it online somewhere. I just give me the
reggaeton beat. It was a perfect beat.
It was perfect beat, right?
For your song.
Exactly. Spanish words. Spanish words. Spanish words. Spanish words. Perfect. So what did I get? I got kickback from Don the Jamaican and Dr. Steve. And their response was, well, I hope you know, Puerto Ricans don't even eat tacos. Because I called it the Taco Bell halftime show. And because in the beginning of the song, I said, taco, burrito. They don't even eat tacos, they told me. And I said, that's not possible. There's no way.
I think they just messed up the words they were trying to relay to you.
Well, they were trying to say that tacos are not culturally appropriate when discussing Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
Well, that's false as well. Because none of that makes sense. And I'm sitting, after I come out of the gym, I'm sitting around and I go to myself, you know what? I'm not going to let this one go. People are talking too much nonsense about this whole taco thing, right? So I said, you know what? What the heck? Let me just do something. So I looked this up because it made sense to me. I asked Grok yesterday, what's the square miles of Puerto Rico? And it turns out the square miles are 3,515 square miles. I also asked Grok, compare that to a U.S. state. What's the closest U.S. state that amount of square miles would equate to? Like what would be the comparative state in the U.S. to Puerto Rico? As luck would have it, there are no coincidences, the closest state that resembles the size of Puerto Rico, the Nutmeg State. Connecticut. Just a few hundred square miles larger. And then I asked this question. Do Puerto Ricans eat Taco Bell? Well, it turns out they have a dedicated website to this answer. And it's called, go look it up, everybody, TacoBellPR.com. That's right. TacoBellPR.com. What is on TacoBellPR.com? A listing of its, wait for it, 40 locations. 40 locations. Now, why did I mention that the Nutmeg State was about the same size as Puerto Rico? A little larger, but about the same size. And out of all the states, Connecticut comes the closest to square mileage to Puerto Rico. Well, guess what? Guess how many Taco Bells are in Connecticut?
40.
43. So it turns out Puerto Rico has the same amount of Taco Bells right here in Connecticut. Dr. Steve, Don the Jamaican.
You might want to add on how many Puerto Ricans are in Connecticut.
Oh, it gets better. By the way, Connecticut is considered the largest migration of Puerto Ricans or a group of Puerto Ricans than any other state. We are the largest amount of Puerto Ricans. Connecticut is. Now, let's go one step further. 43 in Connecticut, 40 in Puerto Rico. But it doesn't stop there. Because many would say, Taco Bell's not tacos. Well, it turns out, after doing further research, there are 30 independent private taco companies in Puerto Rico as well, which brings the number to 50 to 60 taco places in Puerto Rico. So, Dr. Steve, so Don the Jamaican Don, it turns out Puerto Ricans love tacos.
That doesn't necessarily mean just because they love taco. I mean, it is a part of the United States. And
That's right.
There are Taco Bells all across the United States, so it doesn't technically mean
that they eat them.
No, they eat them. Obviously, we all eat them.
Well, that was the argument. They said, no, I get what you're saying. It is not a Puerto Rican dish in the sense of Puerto Ricans do not consider them a part of, like that's a Mexican dish.
Yeah, it's a Mexican dish.
But the argument was Puerto Ricans don't even eat tacos, right? Which I would have told people, chill out. You don't know what you're talking about. I would have never even phrased it that way. I would have said, which would have made a better argument for all of them, that's not even considered a Puerto Rican food.
Yeah.
Which I don't have an argument with. But
I think that's what they meant.
I know.
They just didn't say it right.
But see, this is the argument that I made to Dr. Steve yesterday, right? Saying that Puerto Ricans don't even eat tacos shows exactly who these people are. They don't mean to be, but they don't even recognize it. They're bigots. Now, Dr. Steve is not a bigot, but he doesn't understand the bigotry in that statement. It's saying that Puerto Ricans would never eat tacos, and he knows this why. Why? Why does he know this? Why would he even say it? It's not because he means to be malicious. It's because he doesn't like the fact that I mentioned tacos when talking about Puerto Ricans, and the association is enough to make people outraged. So they make up something, and that's what he did. He made up a slight when it was needed. Here's the other part. Yesterday's Spanish words was not in any way a disrespect to Puerto Ricans or even Bad Bunny. I was making fun of us because we didn't understand. What was the reason why nobody wanted to watch the halftime show?
I'm not even going to Spanish.
Exactly. What are they even doing it for? He doesn't even speak English. I'm not even going to understand him. So I was mocking, hey, what was the big fuss about? Here, let me say some Spanish words that you clearly can recognize, right? Even some words that had nothing to do with the Spanish language. Sriracha? That's not even Spanish. Doritos? That's not even Spanish. Oh, by the way, when I said Doritos yesterday, I was pleasantly surprised by this. At the Taco Bells in Puerto Rico, the number one thing purchased at the Taco Bell in Puerto Rico were Doritos.
Yeah, Los Tacos. Yeah. Those are actually pretty good.
I'm sure they are. But my point was, Doritos is clearly not a Spanish word, but I'm poking fun at the fact that all you have to do is say something that sounds Spanish, and people will think that it is, especially those of us who don't know. So when I'm mocking the ignorance of people, I'm not mocking the ignorance of Puerto Ricans. I'm mocking our ignorance to that Spanish language, and mostly myself. You're poking fun at me, whether you like it or not. My wife was going, what was the purpose of that? And I was saying, I don't know Spanish. And when I hear Spanish, I hear it in these sort of ways. You can say something to me that it won't even have to be a word in the Spanish language. If I think or believe that it sounds Hispanic or Spanish or whatever it is, I'm going to believe you anyway. And that's how you can fool us. So I was poking fun at the fact that all of us don't know the language. Does it mean that we should learn Spanish? Oh, hell no. However, the big hubbub was about nobody could understand what he was saying.
Well, I was listening to Unc and Ocho on the way to work.
Oh, yeah?
And they said the same thing I was saying to you yesterday.
What's that?
It's a vibe. You close your eyes and you just listen to the music, and they also said the people that are hating it as much is probably people with no rhythm. So they couldn't connect to the music, and they couldn't connect to the visuals, and they couldn't understand what they were saying. So it's a total, whatever for them. But it's a vibe, man. Like, you hear the music, you dance, you feel, it makes you feel good inside.
Exactly.
And you rock to it.
Listen, I'll admit, it is not an impossible vibe to get down with.
No, it's very good.
It's a very easy vibe.
Yeah, as soon as you hear that, you just want to move.
Exactly.
It makes your body want to move.
Especially if you like to dance.
Yeah.
Yes. Spanish words. Spanish words. Spanish words. Spanish words. He said Spanish words.
You might as well
Spanish
just
words.
put the song, make it official.
Yeah, I'm going to make it official.
You love it so much.
I really do. Spanish words. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio right here live on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Celebrate Valentine's Day weekend as the Hartford Symphony and Concert Theater Works present Romeo and Juliet, a theatrical concert. Under the direction of music director Carolyn Kwan, the HSO performs along live actors in costume with dynamic staging and even a sword fight. Witness the greatest love story ever told, alongside musical excerpts from Sergei Prokofiev's original ballet music. February 13th through the 15th at the Bushnell. For tickets, call 860-987-5900 or visit hartfordsymphony.org.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
180 degrees from I can't lose weight.
180 degrees from I don't dance anymore.
180 degrees from yo-yo diets.
Awaken 180 weight loss is 180 degrees from a quick fix gimmick or synthetic hormone shots. It's a premium program for awakening your own hormones naturally. Call 877-239-4180 now to find out how adults lose an average of 2 to 4 pounds per week. No starvation, no crazy exercise, no quitting steak, dining out, or a cocktail. Just personalized, science-based nutrition, where our food is completely customizable and our one-to-one lifelong coaching is there to help you for life. Call 877-239-4180 now. Or visit awaken180weightloss.com and see why there's a 98% satisfaction rating.
180 degrees from the old me.
That's 877-239-4180. Awaken 180. Awaken for life.
And now, a WTIC news update.
34 degrees at 2:30. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Authorities have released a video of a person lurking around Nancy Guthrie's home the night she disappeared. Rodney Harrison is a CBS News law enforcement contributor and says now there is more confirmation on what happened.
This is somebody that had it planned out, went after the camera, have themselves covered up, had on gloves so they don't leave prints. This is well a planned out situation of a crime.
Nancy Guthrie disappeared 10 days ago. Some residents of the concierge apartment complex in Rocky Hill should be given the go-ahead to move back into their units today, according to the town's mayor. Buildings D and E should be ready today. The health department still needs to clear buildings A, B, and C. In the meantime, State Attorney General is meeting with the building's California-based leadership and is expected to have more information about the situation later today. Fire in Bristol this morning. One person sustained non-life-threatening injuries in that blaze on Woodland Street. All 8 residents were able to get out. A person sustained burns and was treated at Bristol Hospital. The head of ICE defending his agents, saying they won't be intimidated while carrying out President Trump's deportation agenda. Todd Lyons, along with other agency leaders, faced tough questions from Democrats during a hearing today. Lyons blames elected officials for rhetoric that endangers officers. WTIC News Time is 2:32. Bob Cox with the forecast.
Mostly cloudy out there this afternoon. There's the chance you could run into a brief period of snow or a snow shower. Highs 30 to 35 degrees. Watch out for some slick spots tonight. There'll be some areas of snow and also a bit of sleet and freezing rain mixed in parts of the state as well. Not looking at a lot of accumulation, just a dusting to an inch or two, with the higher amounts most likely up near the Mass border in far northern Connecticut, and perhaps 2 or 3 inches up into western Massachusetts. Lows will be in the 20s tonight. Watch out for those slippery spots. And then Wednesday, it's partly sunny and a bit breezy. Highs 35 to 40. Northwesterlies at 10 to 20, gusting to 30 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Wednesday night. Lows 18 to 24 degrees. A mix of sun and clouds Thursday with highs in the low to mid-30s. And sunny Friday and Saturday with highs in the 30s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Checking traffic in Windsor. Got a crash to report on the southbound side of Interstate 91. It's between exits 34 and 33 with the right lane blocked. Checking Wall Street, the Dow up 109, the Nasdaq's down 47, and the S&P is down 3. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Odyssey Hartford celebrates Black History Month by honoring icons like Alex Haley. Haley spent years tracing his lineage back to a single African man, Kunta Kinte. This journey inspired both his epic book and the landmark television miniseries Roots, earning him a Pulitzer Prize and a National Book Award. Today, Haley is credited with sparking a nationwide interest in genealogy among African Americans. Odyssey Hartford, celebrating Black artists, athletes, and trailblazers all month long. Find more on the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by Albertus Magnus College, where your dreams become reality.
When was the last time you watched your home movies?
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
President Trump said, "I like Newsmax. You like it too." It's true. Millions of Americans agree with President Trump, and they're switching to Newsmax for the news they can trust. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com for immediate access. Get all of President Trump's most important events live. Imagine watching Mike Huckabee's Israel special, our Melania documentary, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Kirk specials, even the movie Jesus of Nazareth by Franco Zeffirelli. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. So try it for free. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com, then download the app. It's easy. So make the switch to Newsmax Plus today.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
Yeah, I got word yesterday and today that Spanish words was ringing in people's heads. I just want to say, you're welcome. Michael B. says, dude, Spanish words were stuck in my head all day. Don't worry, Michael B., you're in good company. Roseanne was doing it too. I'm just gonna have to make it a song, Roland. I don't think I have a choice. I don't think I have a choice here. I just have to make it a song. On a more somber note, I got this. City Hall Adams sent me a story this morning, and immediately when I saw it, my reaction was, yeah, okay, why are you sending me this? And then I started reading it. I don't know if that's the reason why City Hall Adams sent this to me. But I hope it was. I hope he noticed it too. Let me read it to you. Apparently who did this come from? Let me find out. Let me remind myself who the source was. This came from, yes, NBC Connecticut. Len Bestoff. I knew it was him. Len Bestoff yesterday did a story about Mimi Torres. He's been all over this story. But this story is really bothering me. So let me set it up this way. Is DCF a crime syndicate? Is the Department of Children and Families an organization that operates like the mob? Are they operating with such, impunity that people are afraid to step up and call them out? Because I've already gotten a couple of phone calls from some people who are saying, look, I don't want to give my name. Look, I don't want. Here's why. And again, I wasn't paying any attention to this at first. But then, like I said, City Hall Adams sent me this. A retired longtime employee of Connecticut's Department of Children and Families has criticized the agency's handling of a key welfare check in a tragic case of 11-year-old Jacqueline Mimi Torres, whose body was discovered behind an abandoned building in New Britain. The case has sparked widespread concern about child welfare protocols, particularly after revelations that a DCF worker conducted a video call rather than an in-person visit, with someone impersonating a child. In an exclusive interview with NBC Connecticut investigators, the former DCF worker, who has decades of experience and continues to work in child welfare, this person still works in child welfare, stated that relying on a Zoom or a video call for such a check would have never been accepted under long-standing agency practices. He emphasizes that face-to-face meetings with children have been the required standard for welfare checks for many years. The contrast with testimony from current DCF social worker Shanna Hargrove, that's the woman who took this interview, during a January probable cause hearing for Jonathan Nanita, one of 3 individuals charged in connection with Mimi's death. Hargrove stated that regulations did not mandate physically seeing Mimi before closing the investigation, as the child was not the primary suspect of the reports that prompted DCF involvement. The retired employee argued that this reliance on virtual verification deviated from decades of internal protocol and suggested that state laws may require updates to avoid similar oversights in the future. That would have been enough if this paragraph wasn't a part of this whole thing. The impersonation came to light during court proceedings when a 22-year-old woman testified that she posed as then 11-year-old Mimi would have turned 12 on a Valentine's Day Zoom call in February of 2025. She said Mimi's mother, Carla Garcia, asked her to do so as a favor, claiming that the real child staying with the family in Virginia, that the real child was staying in Virginia, and that the children risked being removed from the home otherwise, unbeknownst to the DCF worker. Mimi had likely already died at this point. The former DCF worker's comments highlighted ongoing questions about whether stricter in-person requirements could have changed the outcome of this heartbreaking case. Mimi's death has been ruled a suicide due to child abuse involving starvation. Additional disturbing details emerge from this autopsy reports and the investigations. Oh, no, it's missing the key part of this whole article. And that was, the former employee here who is speaking to Len Bestoff asked to not give their name out of fear of retaliation. Why? Retaliation from whom? Spoke on the terms of anonymity for what? Why is this retired person who still works in child advocacy hiding their identity for fear of retaliation? I'm not understanding that. Again, what is the focus here? The focus is on protecting children. I would think that if you have inside information as to what DCF is doing, and they're not following protocols, and you wish to be a whistleblower, we are doing this anonymously? For what? And I've never seen anything like this before. Call me crazy, but I can understand you're probably, whistleblowing on a government agency. I know that. The FBI, the CIA, DNI, one of those clandestine groups that are definitely, spike your drink when you're not looking. Change your Tylenol tablets for something probably nefarious. Yeah, I get that. But DCF? We have former employees, retired employees, afraid to step up? Because the DCF is so powerful, they can do what? Somebody's going to have to explain to me why the DCF is this powerful. It's a child welfare organization. Like, what could they possibly do to you? I mean, I hate to put it this way because we are talking about the DCF here. I would assume that this guy knows where the bodies are buried. I mean, we're talking about DCF. They've got plenty of buried bodies, don't they? So what's this nonsense about people doing it incognito? Covering their faces, having their voices altered. What are they, in a mob? When I read it, I just went, this, I'm checking out the organization. I mean, unless somebody's going to tell me something different, send me a message. Tell me what if you are one of those anonymous folks, send me a message on the side. Hey, Reese, you better be careful. Yeah, tell me. I want to know. I wouldn't talk to one soul. I'm like, we're in the business of saving lives, right? We're in the business of protecting children. But that, you know what? That may be where my problem is here. That's what it is. Maybe it's me. Maybe I need to recognize truly, right, that Connecticut doesn't protect children. Perhaps when it comes to children in this state, the adults protect themselves and say, forget the children. And we're finding it out more and more. Didn't I just watch a video with Craig Fishbein on the floor trying to pass legislation that said that if a parent goes into a library, that the library inform the parent that the library may contain pornographic material? When the parent is going into the library to get the child a library card, that we at least make it possible for the parent to acknowledge that while your child is roaming through the aisles grabbing kid books, they may grab a book called Genderqueer that has pornographic images in it. And what was it? 92, 97 Democrats voted no on that bill. It's weird that a state that used to be all about family, I mean, that's what it was known for. Maybe not of its own accord. Maybe people just found Connecticut to be the place that they moved to when they started a family, right? They build up their careers in New York or in New Jersey, and then they buy a home in Connecticut, and when they've made enough wealth to move to Darien or Greenwich or, and they move up north because it's beautiful and the schools are fantastic. And then the Connecticut lawmakers saw all of these kids coming up. Look at it. Wow, we're overrun with children. They love our schools. Release the pornography. Is that what it is? Maybe I'm just the one who I'm missing it. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe lawmakers in Connecticut just said, I'm sick and tired of all these kids being here. You know what? It's just too many damn children. Let's make this place the most unsafe place for kids ever. Or, looking at some of the legislation today, or at least some of the legislators, I mean, maybe that was the plan, huh? Filthy. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
Eagle Shipping International, USA, LLC in Stamford, Connecticut seeks a senior port captain communicate to masters the voyage instructions, port requirements, local regulations, cargo requirements and precautions, ship's charter party description and applicable clauses, requires a master's in maritime studies or related, plus 5 years of experience with seagoing on bulk carriers as captain. 5 years experience must include utilizing vessel stability calculation software to include deck and general cargo options, Wayfinder or equivalent, weather forecast platform, and electronic chart display and information system. Offered salary, $109,470 to $140,000 per year. Must hold a valid Captain Class A license. Email resume to hr@starbulk.com. Reference, job code SPC 92825. Again, Eagle Shipping International, USA, LLC in Stamford, Connecticut seeks a senior port captain communicate. Email resume to hr@starbulk.com. Reference, job code SPC 92825.
This year, flavor doesn't walk. It runs wild. At P.F. Chang's, we're charging into the year of the horse with bold new wok-fired dishes like pork belly bao buns and refreshing cocktails like the Midnight Gallop. P.F. Chang's beloved red envelope tradition returns, adding a surprise element to every visit during the Lunar New Year. Each guest receives a red envelope revealing a special offer redeemable on a future visit. Celebrate the Lunar New Year with flavor that runs wild at P.F. Chang's. Valid for dine-in only while supplies last. Details at pfchangs.com.
Hola, amigos! It's a big noise. Brad Evans from BetMGM tonight. Listen Monday through Friday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports as we cover the biggest sports stories from coast to coast. Get insights on the NFL playoffs, college basketball conference races, and more. Download the Odyssey app now and listen from anywhere. BetMGM tonight, live and interactive, presented by BetMGM. Tune in, Team Huevos.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
I don't know about you, but that people are saying that it's there absolutely could be retaliation. Lori Maz says. I couldn't imagine an organization that would behave in that way. I mean, unless we're to say, I mean, I get the whole idea. People think that DCF is corrupt. I don't think they're corrupt. Corrupt is a strong word because there's got to be a benefit at the end of the day. I mean, unless you're telling me that these folks are profiting off of dead kids, because I don't see how you profit from that. The organization is horrible. I know that there's a little bit of this like DEI nonsense going on. I mean, that we know for certain is going on. And the DEI in this particular case is they do not want it revealed because somebody will look it up. That black and Hispanic kids are overwhelming the majority of children who are being separated or need to be separated from their parents. We know that to be true. And then you have to deal with that problem, and you have to address that problem. And how are you going to go into those communities and tell them, hey, what is going on? What's with this neglect? What's with this abuse? Why are the children running away? Then you have to deal with an issue that they have to reconcile with the fact that there's some parenting issues in those communities. And they'll come up with the usual excuse. They're poor. They're not educated. You know what I've never heard anybody answer? How do you educate them? Like, how do you educate these communities? Do we take mom and dad and put them in classes, online or otherwise? How do you do that? How do you walk up to Thelma and say, listen, girl, I'm going to need you to take this online course on how to raise your kids. I don't think you can pull it off. I'd love to see the person who tries. I'd love to see the person who tries. Hey, girl. Yeah. Listen, you're going to have to take this course. You're going to have to pass with at least an 85. You know. You have to ask them questions like, your 5-year-old is about to grab a boiling pot of water off the stove. Do you A, sit by and watch the results? I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I took that one from actual experience because my sister got burned exactly that way because we were latchkey kids. My mom left us at home when we were like 12. My oldest sister was 12. I was 10. And sure enough, my little sister, oh boy, she got to that hot pot. I'll never forget it. She burned that arm. It was bad. Having my sister having to explain that to my mother, that was rough. Burned her right through. Whew. Not to say that wasn't the first time, because it didn't happen to my other little brother. I don't know how many kids in my neighborhood had that happen to them. Do you know anybody that had that happen, messing with the hot boiling water, Roland? Yeah, right? I almost feel like that's a rite of passage. Your cousin? Wow. What, did somebody throw hot water on him? Or did he, hit the pot and then it splashed on him?
Nah, he was running past the stove. and his shoulder hit the pot,
arm.
Hit the pot, and it went all over his back.
Oh.
Burnt his back all up. It's still burnt up to this day.
It's still got the markings from it?
Yeah, not like it's skin mangled.
Ooh.
He had to go to the hospital.
What was just for giggles? What was being cooked at the time?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti, yeah. It's always spaghetti.
Noodles.
It's always spaghetti or noodles. Just this. I almost feel like that happened in every black family I grew up around.
Oh, really?
Yes, every one of my friends has had that happen. Growing up, everybody has a story about someone getting hot water, either spilled or falling on their body. Yeah, I'm telling you, it happened to two of my actually, it happened to all three of my younger siblings. It happened to Charles, happened to Zakiah, it happened to my brother Briggs. All three of them. Always my sister's fault. This is why I don't cook.
Well, they always say a good cook always gets burnt a little bit.
Gets burnt a little bit?
Yeah.
Got no burns. Not happening. Not doing it. Yeah, but I'll never forget that. And it's the creepiest part, but it's also the kind of cool part is when the skin bubbles. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's so creepy.
Yeah.
It's like a sci-fi movie. So creepy. I can still see my brother now. I'm like, he's melting.
Not melting.
He's going to lose an arm. That's what I was screaming in the house. He's going to lose an arm. Mom's going to kill us. That's how bad it was. Hey, when we come back, why no interest in the other Epstein bombshells when we return? Chuck Schumer is on the list. We return. Let's get to the newsroom. John Silva is back. He's in the WTIC newsroom. It's Reese on the Radio.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the Radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 3 o'clock, 35 degrees in Hartford. We'll have clouds, maybe a snow shower, better chance for a period of light snow later this evening. We'll have the forecast details coming up, and it may be the biggest break thus far in the case of Nancy Guthrie, missing for the last 10 days. Stacey Lynn reports.
New surveillance images were just released by the FBI showing a person on the front porch of Nancy Guthrie's home the day she went missing. He was wearing a ski mask, gloves, and had on a backpack. Here's CBS's Anna Schechter.
They get this image. They want to put this out. They need help from the public. Last night, we got a statement from the FBI saying somebody out there has information. So we don't know if they had this image yesterday or today, but they wouldn't have been sitting on it for very long.
Law enforcement contributor Rodney Harrison with what they're asking the public to do now that these have been released.
People don't need to necessarily take a look at the face, but take a look at the clothing and the attire and the zipper. Certain items on these clothing that maybe somebody can identify and attach it to an individual that they may know or might have seen walking around.
Back here, state Senate Republicans are floating another income tax cut as part of their plan to make Connecticut more affordable. This time, the state would cut by 40% for families earning less than $100,000. They also want to provide a full credit for local car taxes for many residents. And state senator and gubernatorial candidate Ryan Fazio says Republicans still have their eye on cutting the public benefits charge on electric bills.
There is so much pork stuffed in our public benefits tax that it would boggle the mind. Over 50 different government programs passed by the legislature and the governor over many years. Over the next several years, we could eliminate some of those programs, cut others.
A spokesman for Governor Lamont says he was behind the largest income tax cut in state history, and he's pursuing other affordability measures while protecting residents from federal cuts. He says the Republican plan makes a mistake of relying on volatile revenue to cover the cost. Still more questions than answers surrounding the death of a nursing home resident who wandered away from the facility early Sunday morning. Margaret Healy was 93. Police say she wandered away from the Bickford Healthcare Center in the wee hours of Sunday morning, was later found face down in the snow with a faint pulse. Police say it was 2 hours before officials there called 911 early Sunday. The Alzheimer's patient later died. Connecticut's judicial branch is pushing to get raises for its judges. The system is down about 20 judges, as leaders say those who remain are dealing with increased caseloads. State Judicial Administrative Services Executive Director Brian Hill points to a recent study that also finds Connecticut judges are underpaid.
As we know, the Northeast tends to have higher cost of living, but even with the 3.5% increase for this current fiscal year, which went into effect July 1, 2025, Connecticut judicial salaries placed 40th nationally.
Judges are currently not slated to get a raise this year. The State Appropriations Committee, or the Legislature's Appropriations Committee, met this morning to consider budget adjustments for fiscal year 2026 to 2027. Democrats grilled type ICE officials at a hearing today on Capitol Hill.
Democratic Congressman Lou Correa of California questioned acting ICE Chief Todd Lyons about whether the administration is keeping tabs on protesters.
Are you surveilling U.S. citizens today?
No, sir.
Those people practicing this First Amendment right, photos of them, data taken, they're not being placed in any kind of a database?
There is no database for protesters, sir.
Lyons also defended the tactics of his agency's officers, saying they will not be intimidated.
And calls for Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to step down. He says he had limited contact with Jeffrey Epstein, saying his wife and children were with him. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Secretary Lutnick remains a very important member of President Trump's team, and the president fully supports the secretary.
Files released by the Justice Department contradict comments Lutnick made about Epstein. WTIC News Time is 3:04. Checking traffic on this Tuesday. Looks like we had an earlier crash in Windsor on 91 South that has been cleared. Although we do have a crash to report on the Parkway, the Wilbercross Parkway, northbound between 41 and 42A. Left lane is closed there. Down in Norwalk, looks like some police activity on 95 South between exits 14 and 13. That's got the right lane shut. Most of the construction road projects should be coming to an end soon if they have not already. Still late running project in Manchester on 384 East in the area, just actually prior to exit 5. Left lane will be out there for about another hour or so. And in Tolland on 84 West between 69 and 68, crews will be on the right shoulder there for about another 25 minutes. Here's a WTIC Weather Center forecast.
Cloudy the rest of today through early tonight with occasional snow. Snow accumulating anywhere from a coating to as much as an inch or two, especially north of Hartford. Plan on a slow and slippery evening commute. Today's high around 35. The rest of tonight's day mostly cloudy. Untreated surfaces will be slippery, low 23. Partly sunny tomorrow, breezy, not nearly as cold as recent days. Tomorrow's high up to 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, low 23. Breezy and chillier on Thursday. A mixture of clouds and sunshine, high 34. And very cold Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low of 9. Friday, partly sunny and chilly, high 34, followed by partly cloudy. Cold weather Friday night, low 16. Heading into the weekend, temperatures will moderate a bit on Saturday. A mixture of clouds and sunshine at a high of 38. Sunday, turning out mostly cloudy, with an afternoon high once again reaching 38 degrees. Cloudy and not as cold on Monday. Monday's high, 43. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, 35 and cloudy right now in Hartford. Dow's up 119 points this afternoon. NASDAQ's down 77, the S&P down 8. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I can't get the signal. Okay, seriously. Now there's absolutely no excuse not to listen to WTIC News Talk 1080. You can literally hear us anywhere when you listen on your smartphone. And now you can hear us on the Odyssey app, the iHeartRadio app, and the TuneIn app. So pick your favorite and search and follow WTIC News Talk 1080 in the app. Then listen wherever you are. It's really that easy. So no more, I can't get the signal. We've made it easy. WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
You're next to order. Please pull forward.
You know, Josh, when you said you were springing for lunch, I didn't think you meant drive-through fast food.
Ah, come on, man. Money's been tight lately, and these high gas prices are killing me.
You pay full price at the pump? Get your head out of the sand and start using Upside.
What's Upside?
Come on, dude. Upside is the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it every time I fill up my tank.
Does that really add up?
I've already banked around $200.
That's serious cash.
Hi, can I take your order?
Yeah, I'm ordering the free Upside app to start earning cash back on every gallon of gas I buy.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ORDER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ORDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ORDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it guaranteed or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What did KB say? KB just sent me this message on X. He just says, get this. Some friends of mine from Puerto Rico told me that they have signs in the airport that go Connecticut to the what? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, maybe he'll explain that to me in a sense. By the way, we've got a surprise Negro nonsense today. I think you'll like that. Stay tuned for that. Also, Zeke Zilla writes in the Reese on the Radio chat room, when working for a state agency, you sign a no-disclosure agreement that you will not disclose anything that happens in the agency. That's why each agency is a PIO, Public Information Officer. A Public Information Officer. So you're saying that, in essence, Zeke Zilla, that each of these folks sign an NDA. We have to get rid of that. That can't be. In no way whatsoever. That can't be. It can't be in the best interest of the agency and not the children that they serve. That sounds insane. So if that indeed is the case, something's got to be done about that. Let's go to Paula in Simsbury. Hello, Paula.
Hey there, Reese.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. So what did you have for me? Okay. So you were one of these people who had those shenanigans in the house when the parents were away.
Well, yes. My sister did get hurt by hot water.
Yep.
But she bumped into her aunt, and her aunt turned around and water all over her. Thank God nothing happened after that.
Wow.
But my mom, yeah, I know. We were close to the hospital, so that was easy.
Yeah.
My sister around the corner. No, me and my sister were latchkey kids, and and my mom kept the house immaculate. But sometimes we ate in the living room watching TV. And when we spilled something, we were crazy to clean it. So, yeah, we did crazy stuff like that. And I cooked when my mom wasn't home either, but I never
How old were you when you cooked when your mom wasn't home? Were you like 10, 11, 12?
More like 8.
8? 8? Ugh. Please tell me. Now, I know I'm going to hear what the answer is going to be with this, but did you cook in front of the stove standing on a chair from the kitchen?
And but I never burnt anything.
But did you stand on a chair?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I see that. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but there are some things in life that no matter where you come from, no matter what walk of life you come from, everyone can identify with that one experience, and that is one being too young to be cooking. But you see that image. When I see that image now of a kid sitting on a chair in front of the stove stirring something on a pot, when I see that everywhere. I kind of feel like it's a rite of passage, or it's just something that we do uniquely as kids.
Yeah, and with my kids, when I decided to have children, I said they're not going to be in the kitchen while I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Because there's no way. I said no running in the kitchen, nothing like that. And then my youngest daughter, she wanted to learn how to cook, and I gave her a kid's cookbook, and her and I cook what's in the cookbook, because that's, she wanted to be like her mom. So,
yeah,
that's
what, that's the undeniable sort of charm of your kids, is that when they want to do what you're doing, you immediately, how do you not fall in love with that idea? You just go, you want to cook like mom? You want to cook like dad? And you got to go, how do you not feel like a sense of adoration for your child wanting to be like you? You got to look at that and you just got to go, okay, come on, I'll help. I'll teach you how to do it. You feel like a hero.
Yeah, well, because my aunt did the same thing for me. I wanted to cook. She bought me a cookbook, and I thought, oh, that'd be great, something for her to learn. She wants to learn. So I thought that was great. But with parents, they should, be more in tune with the kids, And I was a single mom with my children.
Oh.
And I sat them down and I told them that these are the responsibilities that you have to have, and I set a higher standard for them. I wasn't well off or anything, and I had to take care of my kids and how, and had to find someone to help me out with the kids. You know, I had a neighbor who was more than happy to be sort of a adopted aunt.
That's good.
That she took my kids in.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I gave my kids responsibilities when they were in elementary school.
Yep, I still hate my mom for that. No, I'm kidding. She made me do all of that stuff, which is why I hate it to this day, Paula. This is the reason why I hate it to this day. From doing laundry to washing dishes to cooking.
No, not that. More like take care of the dog when you get home.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, I like that. I would rather that chore than anything else. I loved walking the dog after I got home from school.
Exactly.
Thank you, Paula. I appreciate you, dear.
That was the only responsibility. Yep.
You got it.
Bye.
Now, I will admit that when we had our dogs, taking the dog out for a walk was great because for me it was an opportunity to be outside. I mean, you're a boy with your dog. Like, are you kidding me? A boy and his dog outside? That was my recreation. So as soon as I go, you got to check out the dog. Don't ask me twice. I get to go outside before I finish before I even do my homework. I'm there. I jumped on that chance. That was fun. Later on in the program, I'll get to that in a second. Also, we have a guest. Kate Prokop, the People's Advocate, is going to be here at 4 o'clock. We'll talk to her about House Bill 5044. We'll get the details to what this means if it's passed, this proposal by Governor Lamont, and why it is so dire to stop this and to sign her petition. Go to my Facebook page as well as hers, Kate Prokop. She tagged me in it. She tagged me in a post today as well. So if you go to my Facebook page and see the post there, go to her petition and sign it. We need as many signatures as we possibly can to put an end to House Bill 5044. This cannot be a repeat of House Bill 8002. This House bill, this is absolutely the most insane stuff. We'll talk to Kate about it. She'll explain all of it and why it's important that you get the word out to your friends and your family who live in the state of Connecticut to put a stop to this. Because the Democrats have a supermajority, and this could very well pass. And it's, as far as I'm concerned, it is game over. The only other option we have beyond the scope of 5044 is removing Lamont. And that's the reason why we have got to send a message now that 5044 cannot happen. So we'll get into that as well. Let me say this. I don't care what anyone says about the Epstein files. Come on this program and moan about it all you want. I don't care. The Epstein files for me are an interesting look into the psyche of what is it? What are they? Non-Trumpers, the anti-Trumpers, whatever. I don't care. Never Trumpers. That's who they are. It is a mine into the psyche of people who hate MAGA. I think somebody called me a maggot today. It is a absolute window into the minds of these folks. And what's so interesting about it is not the hypocrisy. That stuff easy. That's second nature to these people. It's what is important to them. And they have a tunnel vision that is, cannot be compared. It's about Donald Trump or else. Let me give you an example of this. This is, I think, ABC News. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, this was reported just last night.
This morning, a new document coming to light claims in the mid-2000s, President Trump called police about Jeffrey Epstein. Among the 3 million Epstein files released by the Department of Justice last month is a 4-page FBI report on an interview the Bureau conducted in 2019 with the man believed to be former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder. Ryder and his detectives began investigating Epstein for human trafficking in 2004. According to the document, Trump called Ryder around that time and said, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." Ryder also says Trump said he threw Epstein out of his club, and he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. The former police chief says Trump told him to focus on Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she is evil.
Did you have any suspicions that he was molesting young women, underage women?
I had no idea.
Trump has long denied having any knowledge of Epstein's crimes, but Reiter says Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out that they were investigating Epstein.
So everybody's known that. They've continued to know that. And what do you think the new scandal's going to be? Well, Donald Trump is an informant. Donald Trump is a snitch. It's, again, the politics of smear Donald Trump, no matter what it is. The goalposts will be moved 1,000 times to go after Trump because what's important is that it must destroy him and him alone because they need him out of office. They hate the fact that he's won, and the smear must happen. It doesn't matter what comes out of it. And they'll tell you, they'll go to your face. They're like, okay, if Trump doesn't end up with it and other people do, what do you want from them? Well, I want the same thing. They've got to be completely out of here. Those people have to be taken out. Okay. 3 million documents came forward, and some of them are quite damning, like this one. This is a breakdown of a story that involves the Activision Blizzard CEO, Bobby Kotick, where Jeffrey Epstein is in a conversation with Kotick talking about his video games. 2 video games in particular, Medal of Honor and Call of Duty. Jeffrey Epstein trashes traditional educational games as too hard and frustrating, and they're saying that they are no fun. He said that they don't scale because computers can't replace the one-on-one teachers. Instead, he flips the script and uses violent and addictive shooters to teach kids real-world habits, specifically spending money. The key notes from this email say that what Epstein was trying to do was to get activism to give children sort of incentives in the games. Here are some of the things that they were talking about in there, saying that he was dreaming up scenarios like a game door with squiggly symbols where munchkins would say konnichiwa. You open it to a hot princess with big breasts and a thong and then slam the door closed in the player's face, forcing the player to learn kanji to proceed. He said that it both hooks 5th graders into bilingualism via Japanese, all while keeping the boobs and guns for profit. Epstein dismisses pure educations as for the P word, let's say girlies, instead of the P word, and calls for educational subversion, hiding life lessons in games to keep the boobs and guns for profit. He says, F educational reform. We need educational subversion. Why is that of no interest to people? Why is that no interest? Epstein, according to these 3 million files, was involved in everyday life and consumerism. In your life, in your child's life, this guy was we're talking about in the boardrooms and in the emails and conversations about product placement, mission creep into society. This man had his tentacles on everything. And there's no interest in any of this. It's just about Trump. Let's go one step further. I learned this today. Absolutely interesting. Chuck Schumer. According to the Federal Election Commission records, Chuck Schumer received money from Jeffrey Epstein through 9 separate donations from 1992 to 1998. This includes 7 $1,000 donations directly to Schumer's campaign between 92 and 97, one $10,000 donation to the Victory in New York, a joint fundraising committee, he established with the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee in October of 1998, and one $5,000 donation to the Win New York, a Schumer-associated joint committee in October of 1998. The total amount of these donations were $22,000, which Schumer later offset by donating an equivalent sum to the anti-sex trafficking and anti-violence against women groups in 2019. Again, no interest in this. No interest in the people who took money from Jeffrey Epstein, were taking advice for him when it involved your children playing video games, popular ones like Call of Duty. We're talking about video games in the trillions of dollars. This guy was talking to the CEOs, trying to educate your kids through sex and violence. No interest. Which reveals something that I cannot escape. And that is, why would I expect a group of people who would take millions of dollars from the likes of Warren Buffett, the Ford Foundation, and George Soros, why would I expect them to be outraged about this? Because you're all on the take and you're hypocrites. That's why when I see you in my chat rooms talking about, let's talk about Epstein, why would I take you serious? Why would you people think that you are serious brokers in all of this? You're not. You're all a bunch of worms. You're just as bad as the people who took his money or took their money. That's all you are. You're phonies. You're frauds. Don't waste my time. That's all I'm saying is that don't waste my time. Who's going to listen to you? I sure don't. That's why I laugh at you all day. Scott says, can we stop talking about Epstein and maybe focus on the weather? I wish I could, my friend, but they're not going to let me. They want to talk about him, so don't worry. We're going over the files over and over and over again. And every little tidbit we learn, we're going to reveal. And we'll watch them again, as they always do. Scurry. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio.
Pressure doesn't crush champions. It creates them. On the court, UConn's AZ Fudd, Caroline Ducharme, Morgan Shelley, and Sarah Williams rise to the moment with skill, preparation, and teamwork. At BPS Lawyers, we meet pressure the same way, with confidence, discipline, and results.
Champions win together, on the court and in the courtroom.
One full-service firm, all your legal needs, always. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Visit bpslawyers.com.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling sluggish, low energy, if your sleep is off, or if you're hitting the gym but not seeing real progress, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments, combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or visit northeastmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Atom X by Audion Hearing. The Atom X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Atom X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-295-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Atom X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-295-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-295-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. New developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie in Arizona.
Two law enforcement sources tell CBS News the FBI has been able to isolate images from Nancy Guthrie's home surveillance camera in Arizona.
That's correspondent Steve Kaith, and those images appear to show a masked man gloved lurking about the property on the night Mrs. Guthrie went missing. That was 10 days ago, and that investigation obviously still ongoing. Fire in Bristol leaves one person injured. Fire broke out this morning, little after 9 Woodland Street. Firefighters were able to make quick work of the blaze. Everyone inside was able to escape, although one person did sustain burns and was taken to Bristol Hospital. Injuries believed to be non-life-threatening. Woman's facing charges after police in Wolcott say she swiped thousands of dollars in lottery tickets and cigarettes at the liquor store where she worked. Jennifer Roberts is accused of stealing $20,000, all told, worth of merchandise from North End Liquors. She's facing larceny charges. Kids at Quaker Farm School in Oxford got an unscheduled day off today. That's due to frozen pipes and a lack of heat. School officials there say they're hoping to get the problems fixed in time to open as usual on Wednesday. Head of ICE defending his officers, saying they won't be intimidated while carrying out President Trump's deportation agenda. Todd Lyons among several ICE officials testifying today before Congress. Simsbury's Max Naumov paid tribute to his parents during his men's figure skating short program routine at the Winter Olympics in Italy. Naumov's parents, who coached at the International Skating Center in Simsbury, died in the mid-air collision of a plane and an Army chopper over Washington, D.C. in January of 2025. He held a picture of his parents afterward as he waited for his score, which was 86.65. They're in the second period of the women's hockey tilts between the USA and Canada, and the Americans have a 3-0 lead. WTIC News time is 3:32. Here's the forecast.
Occasional snow the rest of this afternoon and evening, accumulating and coating to an inch or two. Untreated surfaces will be slippery. Today's high not far from 35. Lingering clouds overnight. There still can be slippery areas, a low of 23. Partly sunny tomorrow, breezy, not as cold. High at the 41. Rather cloudy tomorrow night, low 23. Breezy on Thursday and a little colder. Intervals of clouds and sunshine with a high of 34. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Half hour before the close, the Dow Jones up 104 points. The NASDAQ is down 89 and the S&P is down 11. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Apple launched an updated version of the AirTag, giving the new device much more range. The company says the new AirTag is powered by Apple's new ultra-wideband chip, which is also in the iPhone 17 and Watch Series 11, and gives the new AirTag 50% more range in finding items compared to the previous model. The chime is also 50% louder on the new AirTag. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Got a tree causing big trouble in a tiny space? Don't risk it. Call the experts who specialize in the impossible jobs. At Tree Wise Guys of Connecticut, we handle the heavy lifting so you don't have to. From precision limb cutting and stump grinding to full land cleaning and emergency storm damage cleanup. No job is too big and no space is too tight. When it matters most, trust the guys who know trees. Trust Tree Wise Guys of Connecticut. Visit treewiseguysct.com today to get a free quote on your next project. That's treewiseguysct.com.
The reason many of us hate insurance companies is because some of them act like bullies. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been dealing with these creatures my whole career. Whether it's a workers' comp claim, an auto accident, or a nursing home or medical mishap, the playbook is often the same: deny and delay. We became the largest injury firm in America for a reason. We fight the bullies. They know who we are, and I know it makes a difference for our clients. Just go to forthepeople.com and see our results and our verdicts after those bullies gave us their final offer. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. It's easy to get going. Visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer, or call us on your cell at Pound Law, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. forthepeople.com.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month, a savings of nearly $300 a year.
Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. In a hurry? Don't worry. With SelectQuote, you can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-637-9116. That's 1-800-637-9116. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-637-9116. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
All right, we are back. As I mentioned before, Kate Prokop is coming in. Well, she'll be on the phone in a good half an hour. We'll talk to her about House Bill 5044 and what you can do to help put an end to all of that. Also, we got Negro Nonsense coming up. Stupidest thing I read today, or the stupidest things I've read today, because I didn't do it yesterday. We got a whole bunch of other stuff there. Before I get to the phones, I want to play this. There's a lot of stuff that came out yesterday that also didn't make the news. And this is incredible. Christopher Wray and the FBI former director, or associate director, assistant director of the FBI. I think her name is Jill Hellman or something like that, or I forget what her name is. I might have it here. Anyway, but she was asked by Ted Cruz a very crucial question. And this question was done it was a question and answer in the Senate, but she was off site. So forgive the audio on his, because you may hear Ted Cruz sort of repeat himself or an echo in the room. But try to get past that because I want you to hear her answer to these questions. This is very vital in all of this as it pertains to January 6th. And here is the important thing to note, especially people on the left. Listen closely. It is known now that there were not 20 people in the crowds on January 6th at the Capitol. We know that that number exceeds 250 individuals. We also know that there were confidential informants who were handled by the FBI, and those relationships did not happen spontaneously. As Kash Patel told us, that relationship is usually, at a minimum, 6 months in advance into the actual operation. Right? Like, in other words, you get the guy 6 months before you ever implant him. Like, you could be working with a guy for a year, but it's a 6 month period before that individual is ever sent out to infiltrate said target. So this wasn't spontaneous, like a week, that they just got somebody to infiltrate the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers. These were long operations, we told you. You laughed them off. But another important thing that you should note is this back and forth with Ted Cruz and the FBI. Because you might remember Clay Higgins asked Christopher Wray, were there any FBI agents or informants dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol? He wouldn't say no, but he just said he couldn't reveal his tactics. But he couldn't say no, which is why this exchange is very important. Listen closely.
How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th? Yes.
That's a key question. And Ted Cruz clearly understands she can't really answer that, but you got to get it on the record.
January 6th, yes or no?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Fair. And I can understand that. You cannot even say whether or not one of your confidential informants or agents coerced people into committing crimes. You just can't. You can't self-indict like that. You can't do that. They may have done it, but she can't tell him that. Blows the whole investigation up. But even with that, she should have been able to answer this as clear as a bell.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
Now remember what Christopher Wray said to Clay Higgins. If you are suggesting that the people who were inside the Capitol or the people who were confidential informants in the crowd were committing crimes, I will stand here and tell you that that is emphatically untrue. But what does the assistant director say?
I can't answer that, sir.
What? You can't answer that? Christopher Wray always said if anybody was suggested we were in there committing crimes, it's absolutely irresponsible.
Did any FBI agents or FBI informants actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th?
Christopher Wray said it was ridiculous to even suggest it.
Sir, I can't answer that.
How many FBI agents?
That's all I'm saying. And then we get this from John Solomon yesterday.
We start tonight with what we do best, breaking some news. We have some new bombshell revelations to get to about the weaponization of the Department of Justice in the lead up to the 2020 election. Just the News has obtained documents that show that the FBI actually conducted a secret tabletop exercise in summer 2020 that imagined what sort of violence might ensue in a contested presidential election that year. Now, that's important because remember, the FBI said they had no inkling that there might be violence at January 6th, but their tabletop exercise showed they not only imagined it, they identified some players and devised strategies like undercover informants and mass prosecutions for minor crimes. That's exactly what they did after January 6th. They had the playbook written for months. They had those informants in the crowd. They had those informants in the groups. They just simply failed to pass on the most important intelligence that was coming in there. That's something that Chairman Barry Loudermilk of the House January 6th Committee is going to come on and talk about in the second block of the show. Now, the memo showed the Bureau's Boston office led the tabletop exercise in cold open source intelligence on the potential for violence from both left-leaning anarchists and right-leaning extremists.
And if the FBI knew that and didn't pass that on to the Capitol Police or pass it on to Nancy Pelosi or pass it on to anyone, doesn't that mean something? Here's Representative Barry Loudermilk.
You've already told us about the informant reports, which are eye-opening and jaw-dropping, but it looks like the FBI was expecting this for like 6 months. What are we to make of that?
John, through this entire investigation, both in the previous Congress and this one, amazes me how much everyone knew of what was going on who claimed they had no idea. I mean, we're finding out now how much the FBI did know through their confidential human sources. Now we're finding out why they embedded so many confidential human sources, because they were either aware or they were concerned that something like this may happen, to the point that they did tabletop exercises on how to respond to this. My question now is, if it was so important to do a tabletop exercise, why didn't you do anything to try to prevent it, or at least to have the Capitol Police and other law enforcement agencies in Washington, D.C. Give them the information so they could be ready for it?
Why not? Worth asking? Absolutely. But I totally appreciate all those people who are now saying, oh, what does that mean? Don't be dumb. Don't be coy. You know exactly what it means. It means what you've always known about the FBI, what you've always known about the CIA, what you've always known about the three-letter organizations. Some shenanigans were going on. You know it was. And you don't want to believe it now, even though and I will throw it out to you every time. Oh, really? COINTELPRO doesn't ring a bell? What, are you going to tell me that the FBI doesn't do stuff like that anymore? Today, under the Trump administration or under the era of Trump, the FBI is the holiest of institutions. Are you going to tell me now? And no shenanigans went on? I don't know. They appear to be contradicting themselves, and it's right in your face, but no conspiracy exists now. Well, the crazy part is, and I say this to these leftists all the time, I grew up with you lefties. You've always been the same. I grew up with you thinking there was conspiracy in everything. You thought there was conspiracy in powdered milk. Didn't matter what it was. You could find a conspiracy to attach on it. Nowadays, forget about it. Weirdly enough, you believe in the state. The deep state, in fact, some of you are cheering them on. You're finding out these three-letter organizations are undermining democracy, undermining elections, undermining public scrutiny, attacking the public, arresting them, scouring the internet to find them and to shut them down and arrest them. And for some odd reason, you guys are silent. But completely put your hands over your mouth. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. You do everything but scream QAnon to conspiracy theorists to whack job. It's interesting. It's funny to see how much you've changed. You became the state. And don't worry, I get it. I do get it. Because that was the whole thing in the other side, right? Those people wanted power, and they were keeping all the conspiracies from you, right? They were thwarting your every move to expose them. And now that some of your folks have gotten in power, it turns out that you're just exactly the same. That's funny. That's really, really funny. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Negro nonsense coming up. Stand by for that. And then we got Kate Prokop, the People's Advocate, coming in to talk about House Bill 5044. So stand by for that. We'll return. Plus, we've got weather and traffic coming up with Mark Christopher. All right, it's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
President Trump said, "I like Newsmax." You like it too. It's true. Millions of Americans agree with President Trump, and they're switching to Newsmax for the news they can trust. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com for immediate access. Get all of President Trump's most important events live. Imagine watching Mike Huckabee's Israel special, our Melania documentary, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Kirk specials, even the movie Jesus of Nazareth by Franco Zeffirelli. Once you start Newsmax Plus, you won't stop. So try it for free. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com, then download the app. It's easy. So make the switch to Newsmax Plus today.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full-pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Hey, we are back, and of course, why is it that I cannot find this? I knew that I had this stuff ready to go. I was doing too much other stuff. Anyway, it is time for the one thing that you guys begged for me to return. We brought it back. I know you love it.
Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
Negro nonsense.
How dare you?
Dateline, Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. Imagine you're locked up in jail for murder. I mean, I would expect you to be there for a considerably long time. But part of the rehabilitation at Mecklenburg County prisons, rapping?
We have a music studio, and I guess they rapping or something in there. And the family member of some of the victims that were murdered were very upset about that. Do you think that's appropriate to have a music studio for people to rap in that are in jail for murder or other felonies?
Now, I got to be honest with you folks. I was outraged when I saw that. That the mother of and parents of several people who were murdered by an individual, they heard that that individual was in jail rapping. And this woman wants to find out whether or not it is, her words, not mine, appropriate for that to be happening. Well, folks, I thought that was bad until I heard the answer. Sit down for this one.
So let me put the content into better content.
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. Let me do what?
Or other felonies?
So let me put the content into better content. Every single one of us in here listens to music. Every single one of us in here take music into our lives. That's part of rehabilitation for us. I have directly spoke with that family member about that person being displayed as someone inside our detention center simply just making music. It is part of her rehabilitation.
That's right. It is part of our rehabilitation. So let me put the content in the content. I cannot believe I heard it. That's the man who's in charge of prisons, you know. That's yes. Don't be mad at me. I didn't put it out there. And this Negro nonsense, this one takes the cake because it's right out of my backyard of New York. This comes from Representative Charles Barron. And Charles Barron, he is in charge of the 42nd District, that is East New York, New Lots, Spring Creek, and Starrett City. All locations I'm very familiar with. And his community used to be a melting pot in Brooklyn. I mean, a big melting pot in Brooklyn. But that is all gone by the wayside. It is now 73% black, 19% Hispanic, and just under 4% white. And this is what Charles Barron was bragging about publicly on camera with a microphone in his hand.
I have the distinct honor to be able to come before you and say I actually lost white population in my community. I lost them. They left. I didn't ask them why. They left. So if you see 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 whites in my neighborhood, they're passing through.
Negroes chucking it up. We ain't got no white people in the neighborhood. They just passing through. Overall serious crimes and major felonies: murder, rape, robbery, felony assault, burglary, grand larceny, and larceny auto, 17 per 1,000 residents in East New York and Starrett City versus 13.6% citywide. He's having himself a good time, ain't he? Let's get our first check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, sir.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're westbound 84, look for delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge in East Hartford, up to 47 Sigourney, 84 eastbound, slightly slow, 48 Capitol Avenue into the tunnel. 91 southbound, once again, just a brief slowdown at 32 A and B. Quiet Middletown, 90 in the Aragodi Bridge, Waterbury, 84 west, a little bit slow at the Mixmaster. Also look out for it wasn't really a vehicle fire, but it was a car that was overheating on the right shoulder, westbound 84 at exit 27 in Cheshire. The fire department has showed up now. They've got the right lane out there, so a little bit of a delay behind that. 95 South New Haven, tight 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Cloudy the rest of today through early tonight with occasional snow. Snow accumulating anywhere from a coating to as much as an inch or two, especially north of Hartford. Plan on a slow and slippery evening commute. Today's high around 35. The rest of tonight's day mostly cloudy. Untreated surfaces will be slippery, low 23. Partly sunny tomorrow, breezy, not nearly as cold as recent days. Tomorrow's high up to 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, low 23. Breezy and chillier on Thursday. A mixture of clouds and sunshine, high 34. And very cold Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low of 9. Friday, partly sunny and chilly, high 34, followed by partly cloudy. Cold weather Friday night, low 16. Heading into the weekend, temperatures will moderate a bit on Saturday. A mixture of clouds and sunshine at a high of 38. Sunday, turning out mostly cloudy, with an afternoon high once again reaching 38 degrees. Cloudy and not as cold on Monday. Monday's high, 43. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
4 o'clock, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. A major development in the search for Nancy Guthrie. The FBI has released video footage of a masked man on the front porch of her home on the night she went missing.
The video does give you a sense of the build of the person, and those are unusual gloves. The backpack is distinctive. There's a distinctive zipper on the front of the jacket of the individual, and even a distinctive looking face mask, just the full type of ski mask.
Savannah Guthrie reposted the images on her Instagram saying, quote, "We believe she's still alive. Bring her home." Local officials at a news conference today in Hartford implored state lawmakers to alter the education cost-sharing system during this legislative session. Joe DeLong, the executive director and CEO of CCM, the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, says cities and towns are drowning.
The educational cost-sharing formula, the foundation grant for public ed, where the state pays its share of public education funds, has not been altered since 2013.
DeLong says under the current formula, local taxpayers are being adversely impacted.
If that fund, if that formula had not changed at all, but was tied to inflation, so the state wasn't really giving more, they were in terms of real dollars, if the state was keeping its real dollar contribution the same to public ed, today the state would be paying almost $900 million more a year to public education.
New London Mayor Mike Pazaro says 5 years ago they were able to manage with a 4.7% ECS contribution, but he says it's virtually impossible to sustain at the current 0.7% level. An income tax cut is at the center of state Senate Republicans' plan to cut costs for residents. Families making less than $100,000 a year would get a 40% cut. Also, credit for local car taxes and the elimination of the public benefits charge on electric bills. Senators, including Heather Summers, are critical of Governor Lamont's plans, including his proposal for a $200 energy rebate.
We are tired of hearing about these small little incremental steps that you are trying to make Connecticut affordable. Not only is it laughable, it can't be done overnight. This plan is long-term, it's sustainable, and it will make a real and significant difference for every individual living in the state of Connecticut.
Senate Democratic leaders say Republicans have been silent on federal policies that are driving up costs. Their affordability agenda includes eliminating some sales taxes, new tax credits, cutting energy costs for small business, and making health care more affordable. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers questioned top immigration officials about the tactics used in the administration's crackdown. Here's CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The acting head of ICE, Todd Lyons, faced tough questions from many Democrats like Representative Dan Goldman of New York.
Mr. Lyons, what guidance have you given to your agents about asking people walking on the streets of America to show proof of citizenship?
We conduct targeted intelligence-driven operation. We don't walk around on the streets asking people about their American citizenship.
Really? So all of those individual American citizens who have been randomly asked are lying. Is that what you're saying?
Lyons also insisted there's no database of Americans protesting the ICE operations.
Well, it calls for him to resign. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told Congress today he had limited contact with Jeffrey Epstein.
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies.
Files released by the Justice Department contradict some of his earlier comments about Epstein. And the state's extending the duration of its severe cold weather protocol through at least noon on Sunday, as long-duration stretch of brutally frigid temperatures in Connecticut continues, even though things have warmed up a bit today. The protocol was initially activated on January 23rd, was most recently set to expire today at noon. Dow up 52 points, NASDAQ down 136, S&P down 23. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, folks, stand by. In a couple of minutes, we are going to have Kate Prokop on the program. We'll talk to her about House Bill 5044. We'll talk about what it means to you and your family. Many people thought that this House bill only pertains to children. It does not. It is very, very far-reaching. It is a COVID-like measure, which is, again, stunning that Governor Lamont would even propose this. And this is not something that he can blame on some other legislator writing. This is proposed by him, so it's important that you see that. And before I get when I get Kate on the phone here, we'll talk about this. This is the one thing to recognize. And permission slip should be on the mouths of every person in Connecticut in this coming election in November. Because it's stuff like this that Lamont is bold enough to propose now. Like, this moment should be one of those things that go, is this guy trying to lose? To put out a proposal like this, 5044 should make everybody go, is this guy insane that he would give this kind of power to one individual? But no, because the polling data that just came out recently says that he's the fourth most popular governor in the country. They say he sits on a 63% approval rating. Of course he can propose this. And that's why I say this election would be a permission slip to say, I don't think you're going far left enough. Go nuts. And that's why it's got to be stopped. That's why Kate Prokop is doing what she's doing. People's Advocate will join us in a moment, so stand by for that. Let's get another check of your traffic and weather on the 8s with our good friend Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91, look for delays 33 down to 32 A&B. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to exit 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, a little sluggish. 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. Heading toward Middletown 9 northbound, slowing at the Aragoni Bridge. We have an overheated vehicle westbound 84 in Cheshire at exit 27. Right lane is out there, delays back to exit 29 in Southington. Westbound 84 Waterbury, a little tap of the brakes at the Mixmaster. 84 westbound losing some speed as you move between 16 and 15 in Southbury. And 95 southbound slowing in New Haven, 46 down to exit 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s, WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Cloudy the rest of today through early tonight. A little snow at times, leaving a coating to as much as an inch or two. The greatest risk of an inch or more would be north of Hartford, but just enough to cause some slippery spots. Today's high near 35. Following the snow will stay cloudy overnight, and there can still be some icy spots, a low at 23. Partly sunny tomorrow, breezy and not as cold, high 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, high low 23. Breezy and chillier Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun, and a high of 34. Right now it is 31 in Torrington. It's 32 degrees in Middlebury and 35 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Odyssey Hartford celebrates Black History Month by honoring icons like Alex Haley. Haley spent years tracing his lineage back to a single African man, Kunta Kinte. This journey inspired both his epic book and the landmark television miniseries Roots, earning him a Pulitzer Prize and a National Book Award. Today, Haley is credited with sparking a nationwide interest in genealogy among African Americans. Odyssey Hartford, celebrating Black artists, athletes, and trailblazers all month long. Find more on the Odyssey app.
Brought to you with pride by Goodwin University.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back. Reese on the Radio. Got somebody who's brand new in the chat room, never heard Negro nonsense before. That's okay. We'll give him an opportunity to call at 860-522-WTIC. Let's get to our guest. Kate Prokop is on the phone. Hello, dear. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Reese. How you doing?
I'm great. Are you familiar with my show at all?
You know, I've never listened to your show before. I'm so excited to be here, though, and I checked out all your socials, and I really like your content. So,
thank you.
Again, agreed to it, and happy to be here.
No problem. So you are well known online as the people's advocate, Kate Prokop. You are diligent in pushing back on some of these House bills and anything and everything is related to Connecticut. So I'm going to consider you the pro on all of this. And I was the only person. The only reason why I even mentioned this is because I saw it somewhere online in my usual sort of news feed. And I started asking about it, and I went, wow, this is crazy. And then everyone was saying, Reese, you got to have Kate on your show. So I reached out to you because you seem to know, you have all the knowledge on this. So let's just start off by saying, what is HB or House Bill 5044, and why should people be concerned?
Sure. So, again, I heard you a little bit earlier, and you mentioned this is a governor's bill, so that is correct. He put this piece of legislation forward. Now, this is a short session, and it's a budget year.
Yeah.
So that means that the only bills that are supposed to be passing are, budget bills. This is nothing to do with the budget. Okay, so it's already starting off very, very, shady situation. not supposed to be happening. Type of deal, right? So red flag goes up immediately. But what's really concerning about this was, I have a bill tracker. This popped up on my bill tracker on Thursday. By 1 o'clock Thursday, I had multiple people that are working off at the Legislative Office building call me and say, I am so concerned about this bill. What are we going to do? Because essentially what this bill does, right, it used to just control children.
Yep.
So now they're changing the word to residents,
right,
which would encompass all of us. That would include adults. So what was mentioned that the only people that would be protected under this are people in nursing homes that would still qualify for a religious exemption in nursing homes. All right, but all the rest of us, they took the religious exemption away for education. We cannot apply for that if we want to go back to school.
Right.
How would everybody feel if that was the situation for work?
Yeah.
Because that's what this bill sets up. It's the framework. Governor Ned Lamont governs by attrition. So he comes off, I'm this moderate guy, right? I'm not extreme. I'm not too far left. That is total garbage. This guy does everything line by line, year by year, until it's a slap in the face and you have no more rights.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened with vaccines in Connecticut. So essentially, this sets the framework to mandate vaccines for adults, and it gives all the power to one individual who was just yesterday posting on the Connecticut Department of Public Health website, the way you show someone you love them this Valentine's Day is by getting your COVID vaccine.
Wow.
So she's still on this kick that everyone's got to get their COVID vaccine, their boosters.
Wow.
She's our public health commissioner. So what this bill does is it removes the regulatory review committee.
Right.
This committee is perhaps the last bipartisan committee that we have up in Hartford. It's made up of half and half Democrats and Republicans. They're all elected officials that we put up in Hartford to represent us. Okay? It completely absolves that regulatory review committee and gives all of the power to add any vaccine to the schedule, now, again, for adults too, to one person, the Department of Public Health Commissioner, Manisha Jutani. Again, she worked at Yale for many years. She's still employed there part-time, and she worked in their infectious disease department.
Oh.
She was a huge proponent of the COVID-19 messaging that came out of Yale University, and she's still a huge proponent of it, and she's in charge of our public health. Just a little bit of background about that. I've been advocating for people for about a decade now for vaccine rights in Connecticut, and I started out with Renee Mitchell-Coleman. She was our former public health commissioner, right? And we weren't on the best of terms, but she at least communicated with me respectfully.
Yeah.
And around 2019, Ned Lamont did something to her that she didn't want to do. He forced her to release state-by-state immunization data for all the schools in Connecticut. She didn't want to do it. She thought it was way too invasive, and it was a violation of people's, medical privacy.
Yeah, HIPAA.
And she pushed back on it for a year. So he made her life a living hell, and he eventually pushed her out. She sued him for discrimination, for being a woman, for being a Black American. I don't really know what came of that lawsuit, but he totally pushed her out of that position, put some temp in there for 2 years, and then as soon as COVID hit, he planted Manisha Jutani in there, she's just a Yale plant that was put there during COVID to really save Lamont from the nursing home debacle that he was in. Because, he did what Como did, right? And
yeah.
Made our nursing homes like just the epitome of what you shouldn't do to people.
Turned the place into a super virus.
Oh, my God. So
wow.
It's so terrible what happened in New York. But Lamont did exactly what Como did. And, he's the moderate guy, and Connecticut's way smaller, so he didn't get as much attention.
Right.
But she came in to basically say, we're going to clean this all up. We're just going to go with the Yale messaging. We're going to save you. It's going to be fine. No one's going to notice. And she's essentially done a great job as far as Lamont's concerned, because she's done every single thing that he has wanted, and she is just a Yale mouthpiece.
Kate, I have to ask you this. Not that you would be able to answer it, but you've dealt with this so much, because I'm always caught up in the psychology of this. I know that Ned Lamont talks about being a moderate. In fact, I always mention his interview with Bloomberg News, talking about how becoming a moderate is becoming smaller and smaller. He talks a good game, and then he governs like so far to the left. It's incredible. But I have to ask, because you've dealt with this so long, what would be Lamont's motivation to give this kind of power to one person, knowing everything that came out of COVID? In fact, everything that we're learning about COVID vaccines, everything we're learning about myocarditis, everything we're learning about menstrual cycles that the CDC told us wasn't true, just everything that we learned. Why would he give that power alone to one person who is an advocate for pushing more of that dangerous drug? You
want to know why? Because these people hate Trump so much that they are making our public health a political statement. Whatever they are doing at the federal level with vaccines and medical freedom and parental rights, this governor, who is not moderate by any means regarding those issues at least, has made a statement by doing the complete opposite. So he wants to give all the power to one person.
Did I lose her?
She being the commissioner, has joined a regional public health collaborative, which is a bunch of states, including New York, New Jersey, Vermont, Maine. New Hampshire is the only one that said we're not joining.
Yeah.
Rhode Island, Massachusetts, right? And they're all basically saying we're not going to do what the CDC is telling us to do anymore because RFK is in charge. We're going to make up our own board of people, and we're going to get all our advice from the American Academy of Pediatrics. And I just want to let everybody know here that that name is very deceiving. It is not an academy of pediatricians. It's a bunch of pharmaceutical reps that are selling a product. Their job is not to tell you the risks of the product that they're selling. Their job is to sell a product. Okay, you have to look at this like the bigger, take a step back and look at it as a business model.
Right.
These people are selling a product. They are not there to share the risk profiles of these products. And that is who Manisha Jutani, our Department of Public Health Commissioner, said she is going to take advice from. So this gives her, this bill, HB 5044, gives her that central authority. She doesn't have to go through anybody in the legislature. So if I wanted to go to my elected official that's on this regulatory review committee and say, you better stop this, and I'm going to bring thousands of people with me, that is no more. So now the power would go to Manisha. In one side of the pen, she can add COVID to the schedule, or she can add whatever they're taking off at the federal level. She can add it here, or whatever recommendation that they're making at the federal level, she'll just go against it. They have made a weapon out of public health in this state. They have made it a political weapon. It's really sad for people that care about this issue.
Yeah, it's really, really insane. By the way, if you're just joining us, we're on the phone with Katie Prokop, the People's Advocate. By the way, check out, Katie, what's your website for everybody to come check you out?
It's CTRAMM.com. So that's my one website for this issue.
Right.
That's CTRAM. It stands for Connecticut Residents Against Medical Mandates. We have a petition going right now.
Yes, very important.
This bill. Yep, it's got about 7,500 signatures in 4 days. So I do a lot of petitions. It's going strong. We did a petition about a month ago regarding the land tax assessment increases.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody listening owns any.
I need to get you. I need to get you on my DQuat group as well. So I need to get you motivated on that one with me as well.
Yeah, well, we had 20,000 signatures in a week to oppose that. That thing that quietly happened under the Department of Agriculture.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's just this whole everyone up in Hartford is just so far left, and every branch of government so far left. There is no bipartisan legislation coming out of Hartford. I just want everybody to know that. It's all far left.
Well, it is. Let me ask you this, because this is the weird part about it, and I don't know if you're actually making any ground with this. But look, if this power is given to one person as it pertains to vaccines, in essence, if she decides one day that everybody who's working has to take this vaccine, or your children have to get this vaccine to go into classrooms, where are the usual suspects that you would expect in this realm, like the My Body, My Choice folks? Are these people even speaking up, or are they, just loudly the most silent group there is on this issue? Are they even speaking up?
It's an interesting thing to talk about, right? I'm personally conservative. I started a group in a state where if you just push conservative legislation forward, you're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
And the reason why my group is so large is because I didn't just say Republicans come to my group. I said anybody who cares about this issue, come on to the group, come learn, come join us. So I would say there's a large chunk of people that follow me that really don't care at all about politics. They're just really annoyed that this is happening, and they don't want to be bothered by it. So they're like, what do I got to do, Kate? And, that's kind of why I'm the people's advocate. When this terrible, really invasive legislation comes out of Hartford, I'm typically the person that speaks up about it. I started with the vaccine thing, and I just have to, the Pfizer, Yale, and UConn, they really do prop up a lot of our economy here. Yeah. So they're buddies with Lamont, and he's going to prop them up as much as he can. He's going to protect them. He's going to prop them up. But, we can't let them gaslight us like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
last bipartisan, truly bipartisan committee up in Hartford, one of the last ones. If they get rid of this, we have no way to hold any elected official accountable until after the fact, until after it's been written into law.
Tell me about, if you could, in a minute, the most important, at least the way that you view it. What do you think is the most dangerous thing that could come out of this should this House bill be passed? And when you say dangerous, like worst case scenario for people of Connecticut.
So the worst case scenario already happened to us, you guys. We lived through COVID-19 mandates. They were a freaking nightmare in this state. I helped over 20,000 people submit religious exemptions because they didn't want to get a COVID vaccine. Wow. And this is after some people got a COVID vaccine and got injured. These are people that believe in vaccines and got injured because their employer made them take this vaccine. So again, I think that that's the worst case scenario, is that we end up where we already were, you guys. This has already happened in the state under the same commissioner, under the same governor. Why wouldn't it happen again? Especially when they're trying to make a political statement against Trump. I'm telling you, they're going to do whatever they want to do here because people don't call them out or hold them accountable. And I refuse to let that happen.
I agree.
I got this petition going. I'm going to get as many people up to Hartford during the public hearing as I can. And I'm going to try to work across the aisle to, anybody that's open to it, that's on the other side that will try to help me stop this. I'm willing to work with anybody because it's got to be stopped. That's for the best of the people of this entire state. It has to be stopped. If you have a representative that's Democrat, hold them to this. If you're in a rural area, if you know anyone in the Black and Puerto Rican caucus, that's who's going to help us. Rural legislators and people in the Black and Puerto Rican caucus. If you know anybody in those places, please help by reaching out to them and tell them that you want this bill to be stopped.
Listen, her page is Kate Prokop, and that's Prokop. Kate Prokop. You can find her. Go to my page on Facebook. I'm going to put it on my X account as well, a link that you can get to her or get to my Facebook page so that you can sign the petition. Kate, do me a favor. I'm going to send you a text message on Facebook so you can have my personal number. I want you to keep me literally informed. I want to walk with you through this and keep this audience informed because they're going to be asking about follow-up. So can you do that with me?
I would love to do that. Thank you so much, Reese. I really appreciate it.
You have no idea. No, I have to thank you because everyone told me that I needed to reach out to you. In fact, the day I think it was Tara, one of our scallywags, said, you need to have her on the show. And I said, I'm already on it. So I was excited to get you on. So whatever the case is, I promise you, we will follow up. I'll give you my personal number. Just, if it's got to be a what do you call it? What's that thing? A group text, whatever the case may be. Just keep me in the loop because I want to keep my folks informed, okay?
That sounds good, Reese. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Kate Prokop, folks, make sure you go to her page or just go to mine at Reese on the Radio, and we will keep you informed. Thanks, Kate. We will continue with the program, and we'll take your phone calls when we return. Hey, look, Dr. Steve is here. Oh, maybe he had a taco last night. We'll find out. Let's get another check on weather and traffic. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading in toward Hartford right now, overall, a pretty easy ride. Westbound 84 slows approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney, 84 eastbound sluggish, 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel, 91 southbound delays Hartford 33 down to 32 A and B, 9 northbound some slow traffic Harbor Park to the Aragodi Bridge in Middletown. If you are heading 9 northbound in Berlin, a little slow 32 up to 34 New Britain. Westbound side of 84 is a little slow approaching the Mixmaster, 95 south New Haven tight, 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Cloudy the rest of today through early tonight with occasional snow. Snow accumulating anywhere from a coating to as much as an inch or two, especially north of Hartford. Plan on a slow and slippery evening commute. Today's high around 35. The rest of tonight's day mostly cloudy. Untreated surfaces will be slippery, low 23. Partly sunny tomorrow, breezy, not nearly as cold as recent days. Tomorrow's high up to 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, low 23. Breezy and chillier on Thursday. A mixture of clouds and sunshine, high 34. And very cold Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low of 9. Friday, partly sunny and chilly, high 34, followed by partly cloudy. Cold weather Friday night, low 16. Heading into the weekend, temperatures will moderate a bit on Saturday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine at a high of 38. Sunday, turning out mostly cloudy, with an afternoon high once again reaching 38 degrees. Cloudy and not as cold on Monday. Monday's high, 43. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Mystic, Hamden, Putnam. When you want local news, turn to WTIC News Talk 1080, reporting on the local stories that affect you. From Manchester to Mystic, Hartford to Hamden, and Putnam to Plymouth, one radio station has your local news and breaking news as it happens. WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen on your radio, smart speaker, and on your phone with the free Odyssey app. And now, a WTIC News Update.
It's 4:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Authorities have released a video of a person lurking about Nancy Guthrie's home the night she disappeared. Rodney Harrison is a CBS News law enforcement contributor and explains they have confirmation or confirms on what happened.
This is somebody that had it planned out, went after the camera, have themselves covered up, had on gloves so they don't leave prints. This is a planned out situation of a crime.
The 84-year-old mother of NBC's Savannah Guthrie disappeared from her home a week ago this past Saturday. Latest on concierge apartments in Rocky Hill. Some residents have been allowed to move back in today. The sprinkler systems in those buildings have been upgraded. However, the state issued a stop work order for several contractors hired by the complex owner surrounding workers' comp and other issues. The owners have been meeting today with the state attorney general. Persons injured in a fire this morning in Bristol. Blaze broke out in the home on Woodland Street around 9. That injured party sustained burns, believed to be non-life-threatening, but was taken to Bristol Hospital. No word yet on the cause of that fire. The severe cold weather protocol has been extended through Sunday. Governor Lamont made the call with cold temperatures expected to be with us for the duration, although not nearly as harsh. Those who need shelter and other assistance can call 211-ORG. Go to 211ct.org. FBI search of the elections hub in Fulton County, Georgia, part of an investigation into possible deficiencies or defects in the vote count in the 2020 presidential contest, that according to an affidavit unsealed today. And the acting head of ICE defending his officers, saying they won't be intimidated while carrying out the president's deportation agenda. Todd Lyons, along with other agency leaders, faced questions from Democrats during the congressional hearing today. Lyons blames elected officials for rhetoric that endangers officers. As far as the markets are concerned, the Dow finished up 52 points today. The NASDAQ lost 136 and the S&P shed 23. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
I played soccer. Now I cheer for soccer. 67 pounds later, I'm ready for a 180.
Are you ready? Call Awaken 180 Weight Loss, 877-330-4180. It's not a diet fad or synthetic hormone shots, just science-based nutrition, customizable food, and lifetime coaching. So losing weight is a real thing for life.
Had a great career, 2 great kids. 41 pounds later, I'm ready for a 180.
Ready? Call 877-330-4180 now.
This year, flavor doesn't walk. It runs wild. At P.F. Chang's, we're charging into the year of the horse with bold new wok-fired dishes like pork belly bao buns and refreshing cocktails like the Midnight Gallop. P.F. Chang's beloved red envelope tradition returns, adding a surprise element to every visit during the Lunar New Year. Each guest receives a red envelope revealing a special offer redeemable on a future visit. Celebrate the Lunar New Year with flavor that runs wild at P.F. Chang's. Valid for dine-in only while supplies last. Details at pfchangs.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Costos, and watching sports isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And my show is not a job, it's a passion. From the NFL playoffs to the NBA and everything in between, celebrate sports with me every day on You Better You Bet from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. Download the Odyssey app now and listen to Westwood One Sports from anywhere. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos, live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the Radio. Do I have time? Why not? Here's the stupidest thing I read today.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Here are some of the stupidest things I read yesterday. A woman feeling like a cold fish decided to shoot up a sushi shop in a fit of rage on February 7th. The bizarre crime spree adds a whole new layer to bad customer service stories. There's no details as to why she shot up the place, whether or not it was bad sushi or cooked sushi, but she just shot up the place. Someone is selling the first house ever on Mars via Zillow, and it apparently looks pretty darn nice, according to reports. This out-of-the-world real estate listing popped up on February 8th. Perfect for anyone dreaming of interplanetary living. Yes, that is definitely stupid. And last but not least, domestic disputes that require police intervention are never a laughing matter, unless, of course, two siblings are threatening to kill each other over who ate the last sticky bun. Police responded Monday afternoon to a Williamsport, Pennsylvania residence to handle a domestic violence issue in progress. No weapons, no intoxication, according to the dispatch audio. Officers were told the confrontation is between siblings over who ate the last sticky bun. Now they are threatening to kill each other, said the police. Sorry. I know. I had fights with my siblings as well. And I mean, I'll admit, even violent ones, but it's never been over food. It just never has been over food. I've had some dumb fights with my siblings, but food is just definitely not one of them. And a sticky bun just seems ridiculous. Apparently, the particular company that sells the sticky bun is a place called Mr. Sticky's. It's a Williamsport favorite. So I'm sure that people were driving and running to Mr. Sticky's to buy a sticky bun just to see what all the fuss was about. Maybe, I almost feel like Mr. Sticky set up the fight. I don't know. People do weird things. They just do. And it makes the news, and then people are curious. Hey, did you hear about the fight over the Mr. Sticky's bun? Oh, really? Go check. I don't know. At this point, I'm done. I'm completely lost on it. Food. Maybe my relationship with food is not crazy like that. Roland equates it to love. I don't know, just insane. I don't know. Well, that's what you said. You said food can be interpreted as a form of love. It's insane that you can say that. It's just crazy. Food is sustenance, man. That's all it is. It's not love.
It depends on who makes it and how it's made, my brother.
Do you understand that kind of... That's the reason why we have an obesity problem in this country.
No. I ain't say gluttonous. I didn't say that.
Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Do you equate food with love, Mark?
My stomach loves it. I know that. And I know I live to eat. I'm one of those kind of people. So
you're a live to eat, not an eat to live guy.
I'm a live to eat guy. Just keep packing it in. Yeah.
I don't know. I totally get it, though. I get it. I guess I don't.
The refrigerator's so inviting. Just walk by it, and I can't stop. I can't stop. I just gotta just keep walking, but I keep opening it up and finding things in there to put in my mouth.
Goodness gracious.
Whoa.
Yeah. This traffic report is
just put a treadmill in front of it. That'll
there
work.
you go. That would work really well.
Exactly.
But then nobody else would be able to get into the refrigerator because I'd be blocking it all the time. This traffic report is being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. And if you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 46 Sisson Avenue. Eastbound 84 slows about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. Brief slowdown 91 southbound at 32A and B. Northbound 91 southbound, northbound 9 southbound 9 a little tight at the Aragoni Bridge. 9 northbound's tight in Berlin from 32 up to 34 in New Britain. Westbound 84 is running slow 26 to 25 in Waterbury, again by the Mixmaster in Waterbury. If you are heading down into New Haven, a little slowdown south 95 from 46 down to 44. Traffic moves slow, but your transformation shouldn't. Columbia Implant Center provides full dental implants in just one visit. Open 7 days a week in Manchester to fit your busy life. Get your smile back today at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Cloudy through early tonight. Snow in the area, and snow can accumulate anywhere from a coating to an inch or two, enough to make roads slippery. A high the rest of today near 35. Following the snow, it'll stay mostly cloudy overnight, low 23. Partly sunny tomorrow, breezy and not as cold, high 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, low 23. Breezy and chillier weather on Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun, and a high at 34. Right now it is 31 at Walcott. It's 32 degrees at Meriden, and still 35 at Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Looking to retire with confidence? Get the answers you need. Tune in to Wall Street Sweeper with Russ Hackman. Sunday mornings at 9:30 on NewsTalk WTIC AM. Strategies, insights, and smart retirement talk. Don't miss it.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
UConn's Silas Demery Jr. and Braylon Mullins know winning takes trust, hustle, and the right team.
I work both ends of the court. That's the only way to win.
And when the pressure's on, I trust my team on the court and in life.
That's why they trust BPS lawyers, handling personal injury, family law, and more.
I'm Nick Payne-Darris. At BPS Lawyers, we're one full-service firm. All your legal needs, always.
BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life.
Making sense of it all and having fun. That's how we would sum up our show. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. It's what happens when you take a Gen Xer, a millennial, and a baby boomer and give them a radio show.
We go through the news the same way you and your friends would, taking the serious stuff seriously while also laughing at the absurd.
Each one of us brings a unique perspective to the news of the day, closing the generation gap in a way no other talk show can. Hear Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins weeknights 6 until 9 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full-pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guarantee. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
The NAACP calls him, whoa, I don't think I'm allowed to read this. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's just say some people are not fans. On News Talk 1080, WTIC.
We're back. Reese on the Radio. Let's hit the phones real quick. What's up, Simsbury?
So yesterday I called in and I talked about how our Republican candidates for governor need to set aside as much as they can the little nitty-gritty financial arguments.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday we talked about the housing bill as being one thing they need to lead with.
Mm-hmm.
And today what Kate talked about was the next thing they need to lead with. And I'm going to be really direct here because I know there's a lot of people in their cars who are listening, have no idea who I am, what the heck I am. Let me make a couple of statements here. And these are very strong. If you're being forcibly injected with products you don't want, meaning you can't get paid unless you take a jab, you have the same rights as a farm animal. Why would you vote for this governor if that is a fact? That is not my opinion. That is a fact.
That's right.
Now, when it comes to those with children or those grandparents who have grandchildren, here's the brutal truth. If you or the parents of the children don't get to decide what goes into your children's bodies, they are not your children.
That's right.
Tell me that they are your children. They are not your children. And now I'm going to go after Dr. Giuttani because I've gone after her before. And one of these days I'm going to get the state police knocking on my door, and I really don't care.
Well, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Don't put yourself in trouble.
Factual. Everything's factual here.
Okay.
This is serious stuff. When people were deciding whether or not to get COVID shots or whether or not to get their kids the COVID shots, the governor and Dr. Giuttani were up there on the news constantly. They're safe and effective. They're safe and effective.
That's right.
Well, 50% people who got COVID shots, adults, regret getting a COVID shot.
Indeed.
And the percentage of parents who had their kids get COVID shots is slightly greater than that number. So let me tell you what Dr. Giuttani, who I swear, I'm not going to do it, Reese, but you can figure out what the adjectives would be for a person like this.
No, again, I think that everybody knows that this is reckless, which again lends me to this idea that it shows you exactly who Governor Lamont is, that he would, after everything that happened with COVID, to make a move like this. I don't think it was, the first day of the legislative session that he would promote this? And again, not one media outlet report on it?
Well, our state medical examiner is a guy by the name of Dr. James Gill, Gill. Dr. Gill was our medical examiner during COVID. And Dr. Gill and another doctor wrote for a medical journal, and I can get my hands on the article very easily again. It's not some fake pediatric academy. It's a medical journal. That 2 teenage boys died at Yale University Hospital because of the COVID shot. And after that occurred, so we know that Dr. Giuttani knows Dr. Gill, and Lamont knows Dr. Gill, yet they stood up there and they said, get your kids vaxxed. It's safe and effective. Now tell me why someone would ever vote for this man.
I don't.
Why, other than my being a gentleman, why I don't call her every rotten name in the book? Because she knew children in the state of Connecticut had died, and her own medical examiner said they died because of the COVID shot, and they told parents it was safe and effective.
Yeah,
That's why I can't stand her. It's
I know.
not a difference of opinion. She
listen,
lied. She
I will
lied
tell
by
you this,
omission.
Joe. I'll tell you this, and I can hear it in your voice. Thankfully, I never had to deal with this whole thing. And owning my own business at the time, it was before I got back on radio, but I had to deal with customers and this issue all the time. I was worried about my business. It just started in 2019. I thought I was going to go broke. I didn't know what it was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to end up on the dole. But apparently, thankfully, my business boomed because there were so many people trying to get the hell out of Virginia because they were afraid of what Ralph Northam was going to do at the time. And he did the unthinkable. People were moving to Florida in droves. My business boomed. I made over $130,000 after I paid everybody. In a small five employee business, I made well over 6 figures, which again shows exactly how bad governance led to people leaving the state, which everyone should have recognized after the fact. For this guy to know that and then go one step further into saying, here's what I'll do. I'll give that same power to one individual after everything that we know. It's not just bold, it's brazen. And that's why I understand your anger here.
Oh, tremendous anger. When people were trying to make very difficult decisions on whether or not to have their children vaccinated because they were scared, they were hearing people like me and Patty from Naugatuck and Rudy call in.
Oh, yeah.
Say, no, they're lying to you. This lie was out there. The the medical commissioner for the state of Connecticut never gave the informed consent to the parents to make a decision knowing that 2 boys had died. And it wasn't some conservative whack job who wrote the article.
Right.
It was our own state medical examiner, who she has a relationship with. That to me is beyond offensive. And that's where I mentioned, I'll conclude with this. Women, I said yesterday, need to be talking to other women and go for the jugular on this one.
Yeah.
When you don't worry about your kids not getting invited to a birthday party. You don't want your kid injected with something because some woman, who's in charge or man in charge can't give you the truth to let you know whether or not it's safe for your child.
Right, and she's compromised. That's the part that Kate's making here, is that the woman is compromised by a board of people who are looking for profit, not for progress medically. This is a profit-based sort of a governing board, and none of the elected officials, a bipartisan group of elected officials, are a stopgap to keep this woman from doing something that may very well be detrimental to the public at large. And the crazy part that Kate says in all of this, Joe, the part that scares me, although I'm taking it with a degree of skepticism, but Kate may be right, is that this is supposed to be a middle finger to Donald Trump. But I'm like, you're willing to risk the lives of your constituents for that?
And they would say, oh, it's not risking their lives. How about she and Lamont came out and said something that would be what a medical professional would say is, we had a couple of young people pass away from it, but our opinion is we feel it's safe and effective.
Yeah.
Then I would have nothing to say. They kept it from people.
Yeah, good point. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You got it. Let's go to Fred. I'm sorry, Armand. I apologize. Wrong place. Armand is in Avon. How are you, Armand?
Hey, Reese, I love following Joe because he's spot on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with how I would normally end this discussion, and then I'll finish up with how I would have started it.
Yeah.
So the best weapon against this situation and this bill, we need to have the Republicans bring forward a bill that says if Lamont and Dr. Manisha Johanni bring this bill forward, that in order for it to pass, they have to relinquish sovereign immunity protection.
Ooh.
Okay, and if that's the case, if they don't want to do that, then they don't have confidence in the decisions they're making.
That's right.
And if they do that, that means they're going to be personally liable for not any one injury or any one death that happens. They have to relinquish sovereign immunity protection.
That is a great proposal. And
Okay.
I'm sure, by the way, Republicans, I know you're listening. Adam, let them know. That's a great proposal. That should be the counter proposal right there.
Yep. So that's the weapon against them. And just to complement what Joe said, I'm holding a paper in hand that was written by the International Journal of Vaccine Theory, Practice, and Research. And it was published in May 10th of 2021. And it talks about things like the danger of how the spike protein could propagate the vaccine to other organs, which we had the problem with inflated hearts and things like that. And then also it talks about the topic of prion diseases. So it was well known very early on that this vaccine, in what could happen with it, was unproven. So if they want to take a stand on this, take away their legal sovereign immunity protection and let's go for it. And let's take Lamont's mansion, and then let's take whatever Johanni owns, because this is the horse they want to ride.
Yeah, such a great point, and I'm glad that you guys have brought it up. Joe, you know what? Can you do me a favor, Armand? Send that to me, that article.
Okay, I'll send it via your email.
You got it, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Let me go real quick because I know he can't stay for long. Dr. Steve, my apology is long overdue. You want to give it to me now? Or you want to give it to me later?
Apology. Tell me what you're apologizing for. That's all.
No, what you're apologizing for, sir. It turns out that Taco Bell is quite prominent as our private taco companies in Puerto Rico, as it stands. And Puerto Rico is about the same size as Connecticut. Of Taco Bell locations in Connecticut, 43. In Puerto Rico, Taco Bell, 40 locations, and 20 private taco businesses in Puerto Rico. So your statement yesterday, Puerto Ricans don't even eat tacos, absolutely null and void. My apology?
You definitely don't get an apology. I hope you're joking because obviously you're misquoting me.
No, I am not. You said Puerto Ricans don't even eat tacos.
Do you know what I meant? If I use those words, do you know what I intended to say?
Then say I apologize for using those words.
No, okay. I'm merely saying, do you understand what the intent of what my statement was yesterday?
That tacos are not a Puerto Rican meal?
Tacos. Thank you. That's obviously what I was trying to say. That is not it's not from Puerto Rico, and so to invoke tacos and burritos as an allusion to Puerto Rico was invalid. But again, I don't even care about that, Reese. That's not why I called.
Go ahead. Tell me why you called.
Apologize for it. Yeah. So. And you know, trash talk is my love language, man. I know, you don't ever need to apologize to me, and vice versa.
I'm teasing you. Go ahead. What would you? Are you calling about this issue with House Bill 5044?
So I would obviously love to talk about vaccines, but then I would be derailing the thing I had initially called about.
Oh, then tell me what you were calling about.
I want to do it. Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about vaccines another day, and I have a lot to say about it. But I'm calling totally different reason, if you'll allow.
Go for it, real quick.
So I want you to imagine. Well, first of all, do you go to national parks at all? Or are you someone who frequents the national parks?
I do not frequent them, although I'd love to.
Okay, maybe you've been to one in, like, I don't know.
Maybe I'm sure I have in Virginia, but don't remember when.
Okay, very well. So I want you to pretend it's 2014, and you do like national parks. You're going to a national park, and you're excited to go, and you decide to get a national park pass. So that you can basically pay $100 to go to any park in the country for free. Otherwise, you got to pay admission with each one.
Sure, I'm familiar with those.
And you order it online, and it comes to you in the mail, and you're excited. You open it up. It's your national annual park pass, granting you access to all these places. And you look on the card, and who's on the card? Barack Obama. Now, never before has there been a president on a national park pass. All prior park passes, since the beginning of park passes, always feature landscapes or wildlife or animals, etc. But imagine if you pulled that card out, and now and I know your affections towards President Barack Obama. Imagine if that card that you're going to put in your wallet for the whole year now has Barack Obama in it. How would you feel about that?
I wouldn't feel anything.
You would. That is please further characterize that statement.
Dr. Let me explain it to you. Okay. I don't govern anything in my life off of feelings. I don't have an emotional.
That's a lie.
No. Let me tell you why. And I know it's to be true. See, I know what you're getting at, because again, here's what you missed, and you don't know this about my private life. So, my wife's car, which is a Nissan, spent all of the 5 years we've been together with Barack Obama pins sitting above the dash, and it's been there for 5 years since she's owned the car. I've seen them. I looked at them every day for years, and guess what? I've never said take them down, or I hate looking at them, or why are they sitting there? Never did. You want to know why? Because I have no emotional connection to Barack Obama. I know who he is, but he doesn't emote something from me. I don't have an emotion.
I have heard you speak.
Say that the guy is garbage. Say that the guy
suggests that you have no feelings. That you're
none.
Every comment, you're like a Vulcan towards Barack Obama.
Absolutely. I just state who Barack Obama is, but I don't have an emotional connection to.
That is a lack of insight, man.
Tell me, explain to me.
You have no feelings.
Here's
towards him.
No, because Barack Obama doesn't affect my life. He affects.
Of course he did.
No, he doesn't. How has he?
I'm talking about did.
How
when
did
he was the president?
He affected my life?
Well, I'm pretty sure you could articulate. I've heard you articulate all the terrible things that he did during his time in office.
Yes, but I never said he did them to me.
We're going off on a tangent.
Steve, wait. Here's what I want to do. You got to hold on for me, because I got to get to Mark Christopher. Just stand by real quick. That's the most insane ideas that I have a feeling about. Are you kidding me? Ask anybody who's. Let me call my ex-wife. Feelings. What? Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Feelings.
Yeah, really. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the eastbound side of I-84, look for delays now from about a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Boakdale Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. If you're southbound 91, a little slow, 33 down to 32 A and B. In Hartford, bunch it up 91 northbound between 35 and 36. We had a problem in the HOV breakdown lane between 35 and 36, so I'm sure some rubbernecking at that. Route 2 eastbound's okay in Glastonbury. If you are heading into Middletown, 9 northbound's a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. Again, some slow traffic, 32 up to 34, 9 north as you move Berlin into New Britain. Westbound 84 is a little tight as you approach exit 23 in Waterbury. And South 95 just tapping the brakes by 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Snow on occasion the rest of this afternoon through early tonight, accumulating a coating to an inch or two. Plan for a slow and slippery evening commute. Today's high not far from 35. For the rest of tonight, remaining mostly cloudy. Untreated surfaces will still be slippery, a low of 23. Partly sunny and breezy tomorrow, high up to 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, high low again 23. Breezy and chillier on Thursday, intervals of clouds and sun, high 34. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut. From breaking need-to-know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
It's 5 o'clock, Hartford temperature 34 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Latest on the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother. Maybe the biggest break thus far in the case of Nancy Guthrie, missing for the last 10 days. Stacy Lynn reports.
New surveillance images were just released by the FBI showing a person on the front porch of Nancy Guthrie's home the day she went missing. He was wearing a ski mask, gloves, and had on a backpack. Here's CBS's Anna Schechter.
They get this image. They want to put this out. They need help from the public. Last night, we got a statement from the FBI saying somebody out there has information. So we don't know if they had this image yesterday or today, but they wouldn't have been sitting on it for very long.
Law enforcement contributor Rodney Harrison with what they're asking the public to do now that these have been released.
People don't need to necessarily take a look at the face, but take a look at the clothing and the attire and the zipper. Certain items on these clothing that maybe somebody can identify and attach it to an individual that they may know or might have seen walking around.
State Senate Republicans have released their plan to make Connecticut more affordable. They're calling for income tax cuts, including a 40% cut for families making less than $100,000. Also, a cap on property taxes and the elimination of the public benefits charge on electric bills. Minority Leader Stephen Harding says the governor's plan for a $200 energy rebate falls short.
$200 is not an answer. Fixing the electric bills is the answer. And we're here to offer that plan today. Let's finally get rid of that public benefit charge, or at least move significant aspects of it off of baked into your electric bill to make it a little bit cheaper.
Senate Democratic leaders say Republicans have been silent on federal policies that are driving up costs. Their affordability agenda includes eliminating some sales taxes, new tax credits, cutting energy costs for small business, and making health care more affordable. Group of local mayors and first selectmen descended on the state capitol today. They were on hand to implore state lawmakers to fix the education cost-sharing formula. It hasn't been altered since 2013. New London Mayor Mike Pazaro says his town of 30,000 is made up largely of working poor.
I can't raise the property taxes. I mean, it's immoral or amoral, however you want to look at it. But I will not pass those costs on to those families who are already trying to make ends meet.
Pazaro says they were able to make do several years ago with a 4.7% increase. He says the current 0.7% is not sustainable and means programs for students are at risk. The Yantic Volunteer Fire Department in Norwich has ceased operations for the time being. City officials say they're instituting a temporary remedy. Yantic will be covered by the Norwich FD Unified Command Structure. The move stems from a call from the mayor, the Norwich Chief and Legal Counsel, that Yantic sign a fire and emergency services agreement. Although the company says its members had only an hour or so to review the 9-page agreement, by the time a Zoom call ended today, the decision was made to shutter the department, or the company, which dates back to 1847. The fire company's attorney questioned the legality of whether the chief could shut it down, saying the move will jeopardize public safety. Congressional Democrats grilled 3 top ICE officials for the first time since the deadly immigration crackdown in Minnesota. That includes Acting Director Todd Lyons.
Mr. Lyons, will you apologize to the family of Renee Good for being called a domestic terrorist by the president and his leadership?
No, sir.
Why not?
Sir, I welcome the opportunity to speak to the family in private, but I'm not going to comment on any active investigation.
More from correspondent Nicole Skanga.
We are learning a little bit more about the rollout of an ongoing body camera program for both ICE and CBP. So we did learn that right now in the field, approximately 3,000 ICE agents have body cameras deployed. The director saying that in total, he hopes to have 6,000 in the coming week.
Paramount intensifying its efforts to take over Warner Brothers Discovery. The company offered Warner shareholders an added ticking fee if the deal doesn't close by year's end. Paramount also pledged to fund Warner's proposed $2.7 billion breakup payout to Netflix under their merger agreement. Paramount's offer otherwise remains the same price, $30 per share in cash. Wall Street, the Dow finished up 52 points today. The NASDAQ shed 136 and the S&P was down 23. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
I needed a refresh in my home. I needed to zhuzh up my dull gray walls. And I knew just who to call. Serta Pro Painters. They gave me free estimates, reliable communication, and professional painting, all at the right price. They left my home spotless, and they even helped me pick out a color that I love. I also love each Serta Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. So if your home needs a zhuzh too, schedule your free estimate online today at CertaPro.com. That's Serta with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Serta Pro Painters.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't worry. Anybody who's on the phone line, trust me, I'm going to get to you. Don't fret. Just give yourself some time here. It's just the way that the clock moves, and I want to be able to get everybody an opportunity to get what they need to say off the chest. In fact, let me go to Ken real quick and see if I can grab him in the line. Ken, you there?
I'm here. Yes, I am.
What did you want to add? I'm fine, sir. What did you want to add in the little minute and a half I have?
Just that I don't know why so many people are losing their minds about the halftime show. I don't speak a lot of Spanish myself. I did catch a few words here or there, but it was a sentiment that I thought was absolutely fabulous, and it was just really good. And so I don't know why so many people are losing. Well, not so many, but a few people are losing their minds.
Well, some people, it seems like a lot of people take this stuff personally. Or it is a very, like, some people are calling it a psyop. Some people are saying it's like, oh, it's a destruction of our culture, and this is an invasion, and it's all this other stuff. I think that there are more people wanting to make more out of it than it is. I think that you can have both things. You can have those people who say that they didn't like the fact that it was in Spanish. You can have those who say, I didn't mind and I enjoyed it. I think it's the whole back and forth about everybody indicting each other for their personal positions on it. I think that you should be allowed to hate it as much as you should be allowed to like it.
No question. Everybody has their own opinion.
Exactly.
Correct. one thing I just want to make clear in
Real
case
quick.
the listeners don't understand. Do you know what the official language of the United States is?
English. That's official now, Ken. I got to take a break. Let's get to BPS, the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford on the southbound side of I-91, you're going to see delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Westbound side of 84 slowing, approaching the Boakley Bridge out to exit 45, Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slows 46th Avenue into the tunnel. If you are heading toward Middletown 9 North, a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. Again, 9 northbound, you'll see some slow traffic approaching 34 in New Britain. Westbound 84 Waterbury, some sluggish traffic from exit 23 up to exit 22. And 91 in the Parkway, both in very good shape heading down in toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Occasional snow tonight, primarily before midnight, accumulating anywhere from a coating to as much as an inch or two. Best chance of up to 2 inches would be north of Hartford and toward the Massachusetts line, but certainly enough to cause some slippery roads. Overnight will stay cloudy and a low of 23. Partly sunny tomorrow, breezy and not as cold, high up to 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, low again 23. Partly sunny, breezy and chilly Thursday, high 34, and again partly sunny Friday with a high of 34. Right now it is 31 in Plymouth, 32 degrees at Bristol, and 33 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Wisdom teeth giving you trouble? Columbia Dental's expert oral surgeons specialize in comfortable and efficient wisdom tooth removal. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Before we get Dr. Steve back on here, let me make this clear. And you guys know this because, again, my reputation stands on its own. My reputation precedes me. I tell this story, I don't know how many times I have to say it. Sitting at a Wegmans in Woodbridge, talking to a couple about wine, one woman says, hey, you should go to the Trump winery. The woman she's talking to says, no, I could never. It's ethically, I just couldn't do it. Blah, blah, blah. I overhear them. I put my hand on the woman's shoulder and I said, ma'am, Gwyneth Paltrow is a reprehensible human being. I can't stand anything about her politics. But I love her in those Iron Man movies where she plays. She is fantastic as Pepper Potts in those Iron Man movies. In fact, she's one of my favorite characters in one. Yeah, see? Roland says, I thought her name was Pepper Potts. Can't stand the woman, but I love her in those movies, and I am never once said, I'm not going to, she's still one of my favorite guys. In fact, in Endgame, when she shows up in the Iron Man suit, I was cheering in the crowd. Yeah! Pepper's in an Iron Man suit. I don't take anything emotional. I have no personal investment in individuals. And if you listen to the show, you should know that. So, Dr. Steve, what are you talking about? If Barack Obama ends up on the park pass for me to go, what do you want me to do? Pull out my hair? I'm bald already.
I think that you feel more than you think you do. But I'm gonna move past that.
That's funny.
Just to wrap up at least what I was saying, which is that so Barack Obama did not actually, in fact, put his face on
Donald Trump
card.
did.
However, Donald Trump, of course, did. I personally, as a lover of the National Park Service, with its 100-year history
You
of
can't go
only
now.
showing. Well, of course I'm going to go, but I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to buy a park pass.
Oh.
And it really pisses me off.
Well, listen to me. You can't say that, by the way. Listen to me. It's very important that you understand this. How enraged do you? Okay. You know what? Don't buy the park pass. Don't do it, Dr. Steve. But let me help you. Don't buy this. Don't buy the park pass. No. Don't buy it. But let me. If I can, you're a doctor and you help people all the time, right?
Fair.
I hope
so.
I hope you help people all the time. And you know what is one thing that no one ever does? No one ever does it. No one ever helps you. You do all of this helping and nobody helps you. So I am going to help you. Okay? As best
Please
I
proceed.
possibly can. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, Donald Trump doesn't care if you don't buy the pass. And guess what? If you do, it doesn't mean that you support him either. It means that you support parks. In fact, the goal is supporting the national park. And if that's the goal, buy the pass for the parks. Think about it as a divorce, right? You can if you get custody of the children, you can do whatever you can to smite your ex-wife by keeping the kids from you every day. But if anybody was rational, they would go, but don't the kids deserve their mother?
So
And you would go what? You would go, that's right. Why would I keep my kids from having more love?
Yeah.
Right?
Stick it to her.
Yeah, you
got
can
you.
exactly
No.
stick it to her. So what I'm saying to you is this. Don't stick it to the park.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I totally agree with that argument. And I will buy a park pass because of what you just said. But Reese, yes, please launch the applause track. But I want to ask you this, and I want you to answer honestly.
Of course.
Do you think, as a conservative who does not believe in big government, do you believe it's right that Donald Trump's face, for the first time in American history, is on the park pass, the park pass, the national park pass? Do you think it is right? And I want you to be honest.
Okay. No, I don't think it's right, but I don't think it's wrong either.
Well, that's a non-answer, man.
Yes, and here's why. Here's why. If somebody told me, and by the way, if this was a story that had actually been brought up to me, and I'm surprised that this got lost on me, if I were to see this and I look at it and I go, the first thing I would have said was, oh, this is going to be incredible, because people are going to lose their minds over it. Because, again, everything Donald Trump puts his face on or even touches, he knows exactly how to troll people. But here's the deal. You don't have to be affected by it. And Donald Trump knows that it affects people. He wakes up in the morning and saying, what silly little thing, trinket or policy, or not even policy, what silly little thing can I tweet or post that will make the usual suspects go nuts, and you guys wake up in the morning and get alerted to it, and you do exactly as you're told. But you should have heard this, Steve. I want to say this to you. You should have heard this monologue, because I said this to you. I said, you guys do not understand that in that scenario, Trump versus you, there's only one puppet, and it ain't him.
Yeah, I gotcha. But I wish that we had a leader who didn't wake up every morning designing to alienate half of the country. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if he was actually trying to unite us and not alienate us? Point one.
Where were you during the Biden years?
Well, you like to go back to other people, but I'm asking you about this one man who is our current leader. Wouldn't it be best?
Whoa, Steve! I'll go one step further. You just said it would be nice if we didn't have a president who didn't alienate half the country.
Who desired to.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Now, you're not listen, I went to Law and Order University, not you. So, I'm going to say to you, as with my degree in tow at Law and Order University, I'm going to ask you, how do you know what Donald Trump's intent was in putting his face on that card?
Well, what about his intent in denying the funds to New York City unless they put his name on Penn Station? I mean,
Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer. That has been
example.
evident that Chuck Schumer proposed that, not him. Chuck Schumer said, if you do this, we'll put your name on. That was a Chuck Schumer proposal. He made that very clear. You should watch that press conference. It's on Air Force One. He said, that wasn't me. That was Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer tried to bribe him with that.
To put his I see what you're saying in reverse. Yeah. Well, I guess Trump then turned it around and said that would be his concession. I guess here's the bottom line that I want to say is that you also have Trump derangement syndrome. And why do I say that? Because Trump derangement, yeah, you do. Trump and so many people do. Trump derangement syndrome is both sides of the same coin.
Okay.
You can say that people who are liberals cannot find value or anything good about Donald Trump.
Okay.
But my God, man, I find so many people on the right are incapable of saying that Donald Trump is doing something wrong, is doing something against their values, is doing something against all the values they held so strong and so dear with such conviction. They're watching them to get rolled over by this man, but they are so elite allied with him.
Why? But here's the deal.
They have Trump derangement syndrome.
I will tell you this. Okay, no, let's call it that, and I'll go one step further to you, because I'm going to, because in your view, here's the thing you'll never answer, and I know you won't answer it now, because I got you. Listen to me. When I say I know you I can play you like a fiddle. Tell me your intent.
Well, that's an offensive statement.
Hold on. I can play you like a fiddle. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You said you can't find one Trump supporter who will openly admit that they disagree with him or to castigate him when he's done something wrong. My question to you is this. What is your intent? Why is that important to you?
Well, I'm highlighting that the polarization goes both ways.
Okay,
and that everybody has blinders on, and so when the right calls people on the left incapable of seeing anything valuable about Trump, you're looking
Here's
in the mirror.
the deal. I can rationalize anything that I support Donald Trump on, and when you ask me, I'll tell you. But here's the thing. When I ask the left, do you really think it's okay for boys to compete against girls? They will argue anything of the. Well, you may be one of the few, but again, we're talking about common sense versus somebody's rationale in supporting Trump. But again, I asked you, what's your intent? What, to prove that it's on both sides? Okay, it's on both sides. But what's your intent that you are so diehard on getting Trump supporters to admit that he goes against their ideals?
Well, I think all of us need to wake up. All of us need to wake up and realize that.
Do you have a mission
statement? Of our country has. Yeah, my mission statement is civil discourse, Reese.
No, your mission statement towards Trump supporters. It's isolated to them. It's important to you.
It's that they also have to look in the mirror and realize that the things that they are seeing their president do, they have been equally brainwashed, along with the extreme liberals, towards being incapable of using critical thinking to compare the actions of Trump against their values that existed before Donald Trump.
Who is the arbiter of their values in that scenario?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
You're the arbiter of those.
You are
the arbiter. Of course you are, because you just said, and you just made the blanket statement, just as you did the other day or yesterday with the Puerto Ricans don't eat tacos. You just did it right there with Trump supporters. You have decided what their values are and what they agree with. You've already decided. You're saying that Donald Trump must, just naturally, because again, you are the person who's the arbiter of that. You have decided these things must go against their values. You don't know anything about these people. You don't know anything about what their values are. And you are gauging those things based upon your point of view, not on theirs. Their point of view doesn't even matter to you. You see it as they clearly must hate what this guy is doing. You haven't even thought about What if they don't disagree with it? And can you accept that? But you haven't. You've already decided that this must go against people's values because I look at them and they seem wrong. And this is, again, where you go too far into accepting this idea that you know better.
I mean, what can I say except that I disagree? I mean, I guess if I had never called your show before, I'd never listened to your show, then you could make a case that I know nothing about conservative values. But I have devoted a great deal of time, I think, as you know, to listening to your show, to hearing the viewpoints of countless listeners.
Sure. And some of them are the same.
And yours, yeah, granted, there's a lot of repetition.
Yeah.
But it's not, and yours is not the only.
But I would go
place that I go to get conservative.
But I would go one. I would go one step further.
That are near and dear to my heart that I speak to.
No, I get that, but I will go one step further. Here's the deal. Remember the point of view you're looking at this on, right? Because you have decided that these things are good and these things are bad, right? For yourself. Because, again, you have to. I think as a human being, we all have decided what are the things that are against our own values, the things that we see wrong with this individual or that individual. We can make those decisions for ourselves. You have sort of drawn a red line and what is acceptable behavior by a leader. And you say, Donald Trump did this. And then you go to conservatives that you know or you relate to or you listen to on this program, and you go, yeah, they clearly must see something wrong with that. And then you hear that they go, nope, got no problem with it. And you go, but that doesn't make any sense. Well, consider this, right? Perhaps, and it's a likelihood, instead of putting it on them, turn it on you. And what I mean by that is maybe I might be wrong about that. Instead of judging them by saying they don't agree with me, consider what they might be agreeing with. And I think you'll go a longer way with that sort of point of view. And it's important because, like I said, I got railroaded on this show in the beginning, Dr. Steve, when I told people I want to listen to liberals, I want to hear what their point of view is. They go, why would you bother with them? They're boneheaded. They don't listen. My view on that was always the same. I can't understand them if I don't ask questions. I can't understand them if I don't listen to them. I can't understand them if I don't engage in conversation. And the most important thing is that I don't judge them for their point of view. I help them, or I help myself understand them. And what you're doing is completely different. You are suggesting that you know better and you know how they should be reacting to these things. And when they tell you no, you're shocked because of what you believe already, which you consider a baseline. And what I would suggest is let a little bit of that go and understand why they agree with Donald Trump, as opposed to why should they?
So I appreciate that, and I will certainly reflect on the approach that I take and the tack that I take. But I would also respond that I don't think that you make concessions often or at all when we speak, which leads me to believe that you are steadfast in your views and you view them as infallible. And if your views align with Donald Trump, it doesn't matter what he says or does, you are going to justify his actions and make excuses for him. And
okay, you can use the word excuses, by the way, but I will tell you this. I think the word that's appropriate, and this is mine, not yours, but I think it's my way. What I always investigate is the nuance of what Donald Trump is doing, because I actually come up with evidence that supports my theory.
Well, I don't think there's much nuance required when a man says, I'm going to grab women by the...
That's not what he said!
That's exactly what he said.
Okay, well, hold on. I'm going to bet you, hold on. I'm going to bet you a dinner. I'm going to tell you what he said. When you're famous, you could do anything you want. He goes, yeah, you can grab them by the, that's exactly what he said. You can grab them by, in essence, saying, by popularity, you can perform this act. He never says, I do, or I like, or I have. Now, you want to bet dinner on it?
I'm not going to bet a dinner on it. I'm going to say that's you want to talk about nuances.
No. Those are the exact words.
You
can, Billy Bush says, you can do anything. He says, yeah, you can do anything you want. You can grab them by the...
Yeah,
that's right.
But we also know that he was charged and convicted of...
no, he wasn't convicted. That was a libel suit.
We somehow were...
That was civil litigation, sir. That wasn't a criminal... Wasn't a criminal charge.
Guilty. But he was found guilty.
There's no guilty in a civil charge, sir.
Well, you are guilty.
It's found liable, sir. It's found liable.
Well, he was found liable. I think he tried to defend himself and was incapable of doing so.
Okay. We just have to get Law and Order University here.
Yeah, but isn't it possible that maybe he's a flawed man and has done things that
he
are
is
wrong?
125% flawed because he's human. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you,
Isn't
sir.
It possible that,
You know I got to go. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're westbound, 84 delays. East Hartford approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, slowing 46 Sisson Avenue down to the Bulkley. 91 southbound, Hartford's a little slow at 33, down to 32 A and B. If you're traveling on the westbound side of 84, a little tap of the brakes as you move out by the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Good ride 91 of the Parkway toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Cloudy the rest of today through early tonight with occasional snow. Snow accumulating anywhere from a coating to as much as an inch or two, especially north of Hartford. Plan on a slow and slippery evening commute. Today's high around 35. The rest of tonight staying mostly cloudy. Untreated surfaces will be slippery, low 23. Partly sunny tomorrow, breezy, not nearly as cold as recent days. Tomorrow's high up to 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, low 23. Breezy and chillier on Thursday. A mixture of clouds and sunshine, high 34. And very cold Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low of 9. Friday, partly sunny and chilly, high 34, followed by partly cloudy. Cold weather Friday night, low 16. Heading into the weekend, temperatures will moderate a bit on Saturday. A mixture of clouds and sunshine at a high of 38. Sunday, turning out mostly cloudy, with an afternoon high once again reaching 38 degrees. Cloudy and not as cold on Monday. Monday's high, 43. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
5:30 Hartford, temperature 30 degrees under cloudy skies. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Local elected leaders and the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities say the formula for funding education in Connecticut is broken. At a news conference at the Capitol today, they said the education cost sharing has not been altered since 2013. That, local leaders say, is the difference between raising taxes or not funding important education programs. Fire in Bristol leaves one person injured. That blaze broke out this morning, a little after 9 on Woodland Street. Firefighters were able to make quick work of the blaze. All 8 occupants were able to escape. One person did sustain burns and was taken to Bristol Hospital. Fire officials say it's believed those injuries are non-life-threatening. A woman is facing charges after police in Woolcott say she swiped thousands of dollars in lottery tickets and cigarettes from the liquor store where she worked. Jennifer Roberts is accused of stealing from North End Liquors. She's facing larceny charges after turning herself in today. More questions than answers surrounding the death of a nursing home resident who wandered away from the facility in Windsor Locks on Sunday. Margaret Healy was 93. Police say she left the Bickford Health Care Center. She was found face down in the snow with a faint pulse. Police say it was 2 hours before officials called 911 early Sunday, and by that time the Alzheimer's patient had died. Kids at Quaker Farms School in Oxford got an unscheduled day off today. That's because frozen pipes and a lack of heat. School officials say they're working to get the problems fixed, and they hope to open as normal on Wednesday. And the latest on concierge apartments in Rocky Hill. Some residents were allowed to move back in today. Sprinkler systems have been upgraded. However, one building that they said they could go back in, they pulled them out because of a pipe burst again. The state issued a stop work order for several contractors hired by the complex owner. Surrounding workers' comp and other issues, the owners met today with the state attorney general. Mixed bag for us on Wall Street today. The Dow was up 52 points, NASDAQ lost 136, and the S&P was down 23. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank Kate Prokop for joining the program. I'm going to keep in touch with her and always give you guys updates on that. Make sure you go to my Facebook page. That's Reese on the Radio. Just look it up, and you'll be able to find it there. Just find that. And sign the petition that she has there. It's great to hear that there's 7,500 names that are on there. We need to do anything and everything to put a stop to HB 5044. So make sure that you do that now. If you're not, by the way, on social media with Reese on the Radio, you could do it in so many places. Not so much on Instagram. But on YouTube, if you want to watch the show live, it's Reese on the Radio show. If you want to do it on X, it's just Reese on the Radio or at Reese on the Radio. And, of course, ReeseOnTheRadio.com will help you get to every one of those places. So go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com for that and download the program at WTIC.com. We're trying to, boost the online numbers if you want to listen to past moments on the show or, of course, our interview with Kate today. That will be on there. So check that out. The reason why I spent that time with Dr. Steve is for this reason. And I know where a lot of these people on the left come from because I have conversations with them all the time. I shouldn't say, Dr. Steve notwithstanding, they really, really cannot stand Trump supporters because Trump drives them crazy and they view themselves as sane people, right? It's like, I know I'm sane, and the stuff that this guy is doing is wrong. Why do the MAGA folks just keep supporting him? It's like, but that is a personal perspective. If you see it that way, that's where the horse blinders come in. If you see things from that point of view, you are not giving yourself a wide scope. You are not even recognizing that people can have a different opinion than you, that they can see the world in a different way. It's not even you're not even considerate of that. Imagine you had found out that there was a person who loved the taste of liver. And you and all of your friends remember days of having to eat liver and you hated it. It's like, liver, hell no. Oh, awful. And some guys go, I don't know about you, but I just love it. You'd be like, no. Or a band that completely sucked. Like if you found out that a girl you dated loved the group Warrant and thought that they were the quintessential hair band. Like, What? But you didn't consider why. You would just write them off because nobody likes Warrant. Warrant is single-handedly responsible for killing hairbands. But this person loves it. You don't even consider why. That's not wise. Everyone's got their reasons. And when you consider 77 million folks, maybe there's something there. That's all. I mean, you did lose. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher, he is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. And this isn't a bad song. Sweet cherry pie.
This is the band that killed hair.
Yeah, everybody, even they admit it. They say they say that all the time. They did it in an interview on VH1. They said we single-handedly killed the hair band.
Wow.
And I still think this record is solid. It's a great record.
Well,
that's Warrant.
Cherry Pie.
That's right, and it's a great song. Listen to me. That song, Cherry Pie, is quintessential. If you didn't know it was Warrant, you'd have thought it was Motley Crue or Poison.
That's true.
Right? That song
Absolutely.
is interchangeable with any rock band. I would even say Bon Jovi. I would throw them in the loop.
All right.
Anyway, I'm just saying.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound side of 84, it's a little slow approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound is sluggish from 46 Sisson Avenue down to the Bulkley. 91 southbound, brief slowdown at 32A and B in Hartford. If you are traveling toward Waterbury, you'll see just a slight slowdown as you approach the Mixmaster. 91 of the Parkway, okay, toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Cloudy with occasional snow before midnight, leaving anywhere from a coating to an inch or two, particularly from Hartford on north, enough to make the road slippery. Staying mostly cloudy overnight, low 23. Partly sunny tomorrow with a gusty breeze developing. Not as cold, a high at 41. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, low 23. Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds, breezy, and a high of 34. Right now, it is 31 in Avon. It's 32 in Manchester and 33 degrees in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full-pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. again, guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Craig in the car. Don't come for me. Craig said no, they never said that. Yes, they did, and I'll read the exact quote. I knew that he said that cherry pie actually killed Warren's career. No. They did kill their career, of course. But here's the exact breakdown of exactly how they put it. Jenny Lane, who passed, he said later called it his biggest regret because it typecast them into a novelty act and the tide was turning. The video, the song, the whole thing became a symbol of the genre jumping the shark. Some folks, especially in Reddit threads and old forums, half-jokingly say Warren killed glam metal because that's what he said, was that in essence it was where it jumped the shark. That cherry pie video. And I don't care what anybody says. I think it's a solid record. It totally, and maybe that's the point, because it does capture that whole hairband thing. But everybody sort of saw that coming. Let's go to Steve in Meriden before we get out of here. What's up, Steve?
Buenos dias, senores. Esteban from Meriden, home of the $1 million bridge to nowhere. You had to change my info.
Right. I'm sorry about that. What's up?
Well, last Thursday you were talking about Mickey and Sylvia, and while you were talking about it, I was fingering through my 45s, and I have the two records there, Love is Strange and Dearest by Mickey and Sylvia back in the 50s.
Now, were those the only two songs they did together?
Probably. I don't know. I seen them on stage at they used to have a stage show in Hartford at the State Theater in Hartford, down where Constitution Plaza is today. And we used to drive up there and, paid 17 cents a gallon for gas and go to the show for like $2, And we used to have, all kinds of, Dutch Domino. And
do you understand what you just did there, Steve? He said we paid 17 cents a gallon for gas. Even Roland went, damn.
Yeah, there was a Merit station in Meriden, and we'd get our quarters together, and one guy had a car, and we'd go up there. And I just want to congratulate you on your guests, your
thank you
content, knowledge, and your memory.
Oh,
and even Dr. Steve, I'll congratulate you on that.
Thank you. And I love Dr. Steve. He knows that. He and I can't wait to have dinner with Dr. Steve. He and I are going to have a blast. Because I would love to have, because I can't do it on the radio. I think he and I would really have a great sit-down chat. I'd just sit with him for 2 hours and just talk and, maybe even convert him. No, I'm kidding. But I just love to talk to people who are on the opposite side.
A couple more things before
real quick.
I waited over an hour.
I know. I'm sorry.
The old wives' tale. My salad man back in 1961 came from Puerto Rico, Miguel, and he told me about that sign down in the airport, "Come to America."
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how old it is. 1961. I was a chef back in the day, and I still was. And that brought me to the subject of the best way to get to a female is through her stomach. You know what I'm saying? That's an old.
Yes, Roland. I thought that was the best way to get to a man's heart was his stomach.
Well, you could do it either way. I mean, it's you always buy somebody a meal when you take them for a date. Where do you go?
Always makes sense. What was the last one?
What's that?
I thought you had another one.
It's a rumor. I don't know if you like it. I told you about Tweedledee, which is Murphy.
Yeah.
This is about Tweedledum. I know who his illegitimate son was from Vietnam. His name is Tong.
He's from China. That's not right.
Whatever. Thank you, Steve. He's doing the same thing that Blumenthal did for all them years in Hartford,
Yeah, no kidding. It's almost like the same template. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Okay, I'll call you again.
You got it. Tom, no, actually, let me go to Sam in Waterbury real quick. What's up, Sam?
Not much. How you doing, Reese?
I'm good, sir. What's up?
Want to thank you for yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed the fact that you broadened my my Spanish vocabulary. Up until yesterday, my vocabulary was senoritas, margaritas, and cerveza, por favor.
What?
And if I loaded up on the cerveza, I needed to know el baño.
Well, you know what? It's so many things. My wife says to me yesterday, sriracha is not Spanish. And I went, yeah, but who knows? like you can say sriracha, and I could have said tomorrow to the person who's never heard Spanish ever and said, would you like some sriracha? It's from Puerto Rico. They wouldn't have batted an eye.
Oh, yeah. Regarding today.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed the back and forth with you and Dr. Steve.
Thank you.
And also, I just wanted to, give him on the lighter side.
Yes.
He said that there's a picture of President Trump on the
yes
on the permit.
Yes,
access?
on the access pass to the national park.
Okay, so my suggestion is, to entertain himself, what he could do is have it in his wallet, and every day he puts his wallet in his back pocket. He could just take solace in the fact that he's sitting on the president's face.
There you go. Exactly. Well, I think he's going to buy it anyway, because then I think he's going to purchase one just because he has got to let go of this obsession, or if not, this hold that Donald Trump has over his feelings. Let it go.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. Thank you, boss. I appreciate you. Let me get a couple
Thanks,
in
man.
here.
Take
You
care.
got it. You too. Yeah, I'm going to leave him for last. Let's go to Tom in Thomaston. Hey, what's going on, big guy?
Hey, thanks for the call, Reese. Hey, well, what a genius. The doctor says Trump is flawed, aren't we all? So, Reese, I called yesterday saying I didn't get Bad Bunny. I've told you before, I listened to I can't even think of his name.
Kid
early
Rock?
in the morning. No.
You looked at Brian and Company in the morning?
No. Good Lord. Oh, come on,
okay,
Reese.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Who did you
No,
listen to in the morning?
brain cramp. So I listened to Sid Rosenberg.
Okay.
Early this morning, he was talking with a woman, and the woman said, and it was beautiful. He said if Bad Bunny had just sang one song in English, he could have won over everybody.
Absolutely. It would have been, and if it was a good song, a lot of people would have purchased his album, which I'm sure they already did, but I imagine how many more.
Yeah. It was it would have made me happy. I would have thought it was great. Here we go. He's singing a song in English. I could understand it,
Yeah. I will tell you this before I let you go. Do you know what really, really broke me just as a human being? The fact that John Leguizamo got on his social media account after the performance and was crying about the performance. And the thing about that was, as a man, when I see another man cry about it, look, man, we're being accepted. And I'm just going, I've never met a man in my life who was crying about being accepted.
That's total virtue.
Can you imagine that? Imagine you had cried because your buddies brought you to hang out with them at the pool hall or the bar, and you were crying to your wife about it. What would your wife say to you? It was like, you got accepted by friends and you're crying now? I couldn't believe it, and I watched it, and I went, and you posted that on social media? I don't know.
Yeah, I always thought John Leguizamo was pretty cool in some of his movies.
When he was younger, Wes, when I thought he was cut, I thought he was edgy and funny, and it turns out the guy is a big, giant ball of cotton candy.
Reese, it only goes to prove the most important award is for the writing. The writers put the words in the mouths of these idiots. That's the top award anytime.
It turns out, yeah, you're 100% right. But look, it's just absolutely sad to watch that guy. Anyway, thank you, buddy. I always appreciate you. Let me bring in, you got it, good night. Let me bring in the piece de resistance. White Mike, what's going on, sir? Chomping at the bit today.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I was going to call you with a very light subject because I have a record to recommend to you, and I still will. There's an artist who's kind of a new country artist named Steven Wilson Jr.,
okay,
who has an album called Son of Dad. I'm not going to go into great detail, but this guy plays a guitar like Willie Nelson and worships Nirvana.
Ooh.
So he's described his style of music as Death Cab for country. It's fantastic.
I like that.
It's one of the best things I've ever heard. Now, let me address the callers you made me listen to. Jesus Christ.
Be brief. So you got to be if you're gonna roast, you got to be quick.
Okay, first of all, for the whiny British guy who called up saying, I don't think Bad Bunny was that bad. Excuse me if I don't take cultural guidance from a country who's imported Muslims by the millions and now has Londanistan. So that's what he says. And secondly, if I have to avoid a war criminal when I get my cash to avoid Grant, then this dude can have freaking Trump on his podcast.
Okay.
I'm so tired of these people. Trump is not the devil. We know who the devil is. Nobody's talking about the devil. We know who the devil is. The devil's been shown to us, and nobody cares. None of these lefties.
I know.
None of these leftists who were marching in college saying, "Oh, Israel's the devil." Not one of these dudes is talking about the files. Not one.
I know.
I would respect them if they had the balls to say, hey, you know what? These same people are doing this. But they don't say it at all. Not at all. And as far as Steve saying people are slave to Trump supporters, I ain't one of them. I disagree with that man a lot of
Let me say, yeah, so do I. I mean, I don't, again, it's like my disagreement is almost has to be tallied by these people. You didn't disagree with him here. I'm like, dude, for what?
Dude, I disagree a lot. And you know,
and you come, hold on. I want to make this point. You call here all the time talking about how you disagree with Donald Trump.
Yeah, because he's wrong.
Right.
I don't respect the man who is sold out to another country. And he is. He's 100% sold out. But that doesn't make him unique. The only people I know in Washington aren't sold out are Ro Khanna, Thomas Massey, and Matt Gaetz. Oh, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, those people. I got a guy running for governor in my state who's probably going to win and is a slavish wall kisser in Byron Donalds. I hate Byron Donalds. I ain't voting for Byron Donalds.
You don't like him.
Donalds is a sellout.
I know a lot of people think he's a sellout. No, a lot of people think he's a sellout. I agree.
Dude, that dude wants to turn my state into nothing but strip malls and cheap houses or cheaply built houses. No, I don't trust him. The guy running for governor in Florida is going to shock everybody is James Fishback. You need to check that guy out. He's a 31-year-old firebrand, fourth-generation Floridian. He just said that we need to publicly execute child molesters. We need to have public hangings.
Damn.
How can you not be down with that?
I don't know how to put
That's
it.
my guy. So, again, all these lefties, man, Dr. Steve, whatever his deal is, I think Steve got a crush on you is the deal. I think he's got the jungle fever cooking.
Come on!
Unrequited. I'd like to know his last name. I've got a feeling Dr.
Oh,
Steve has the last
okay,
name
no, you're stopping there right now. Okay, now so what was the name of the band again? What's the name of the song?
The artist is Steven Wilson Jr.
You did?
The album is called Son of Dad.
Okay.
Do yourself a favor, go on YouTube and watch his live show. It's called Live at the Print Shop.
Yes.
It'll change your life.
You got it.
It's the best thing I've heard in the last 10 years.
Thank you, White Mike, as always. Goodness gracious. You know what? He has got to come with a warning label every time he's on the program. Every time I listen to him, I go, here we go. Hey, White Mike's on. Blowing ish up, as usual. Craig, I know this interview that you just sent me with what's his name, Jenny Lane, but it's not the interview that I'm talking about. Yeah, I totally remember it, but they all said the same deal. They killed the hairband. They did. They killed it. Warrant is uniquely responsible for it. Not that I thought that was a great genre of music ever. I thought that was just I liked live music at that time, and every band that was on stage had the same look. Everybody. They all thought they were David Lee Roth. Everybody. They all thought they were. That's why I always thought that was funny in The Wedding Singer. When the girlfriend says that, when she thought he was good, he was always up on stage with the tight pants, looking like David Lee Roth. That was just the thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do know that about him, Lori. Thank you. All right, time for me to get up out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a good night, pleasant tomorrow. Don't forget to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com or go to WTIC.com so you can hear the interview with Kate Prokop, so you can find out how you can get involved in putting a stop to HB 5044. Mark Christopher, he's getting you home. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good night, Mark.
Hey, good night, Reese. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, you're just slowing a little bit as you move into the tunnel. Westbound 84 losing a little speed, moving out by 45 Flatbush Avenue. Both sides of